Argument on this Monday's evening. Oh, Monday evening, we are back, guys. Welcome to the Closing Acumen. We are back. There's a lot of news and news and news and news is happening. So, as you join us, we ask you to click the share button, share the show. Uh, we are here, ready to move on live on Closing Acumen. So, share the show, guys. Those that are just coming on, share the show, but it's good. Julia, how you doing, man? How's New York? What part of New York you at?
I'm in Staten Island. Uh,
Oh, just an hour away from me. So
yeah, I'm in
yeah,
Staten
just a
Island.
short.
It's not
Yeah,
too it's not too
you're two
far.
1 hour drive from
Yeah,
me.
but I've been moving around other parts of New York. My lovely sister-in-law been treating me real good. So
Right, right.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's nice to come and spend some time with them, Julia. It's really nice.
man, and I feel like I'm getting the treatment of my life. Like they treating me like they treating me like I'm the king that I'm not, and so I'm enjoying myself.
They show you
Yeah,
Some New York style.
they showing me some of the New York how people do it in New York here,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm just enjoying myself. Yeah,
yeah. I've been.
but it's good, man. I mean,
Wow,
my dad and his lovely wife, they had a great time. He celebrated his birthday, and
wow.
I mean, like that's good.
That's very good though.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's a blessing. 70 years is
70,
that.
man. I keep saying to myself, I wish. I mean, I want to reach that far, man. I pray to God. He said that he was like, that's the blessing that you need to get.
Yep. Yep. It is a blessing. 70 years is a
To
it's a,
be
it's a lot of
70, man. Yeah.
it's a lot of blessing for 70 years. It's a lot of blessing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but guys, welcome. Share the show. Christian Roberts, Aliu Kamar, Emmanuel Ma from Massachusetts, Aaron Zahn from ELWA, and Elizabeth Bauer. Welcome, guys. As you come on, just share the show. Wow. So Judah, but I hear a lot of things happening in Liberia, man. It's a lot of news. But big news are John Malou resigning from the CDC party. Wow.
What? From the
John,
CDC.
yep. He
John
left.
Malu was a part of CDC.
Not John Malou. Malou Malou. That's
Mobile
right.
Malu. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But so he's resigning to do what? He's
I
joining
guess
another party or what?
I guess they go. They're probably going to see new parties coming up soon, guys. We start seeing new political parties. You know.
And I like the fact that to be honest with you, I think I like the fact that it is happening though. That
Well,
leaves
hold on. Let me get my kid.
Smith Dawie said I should fix my shirt collar. Sorry, Smith Dawie. I'm sorry. I forgot. Is it fixed now? All right. I guess my shirt collar was kind of messed up. But anyway, as far as the decision being made by what's his name, um, Moba Molu, I really, to be honest with you, when it comes to decisions that are made in Liberia politics these days, I don't take these guys serious. I don't know how is it that one would even consider, after all these years. Remember, it's the same man who made all of this statement he made and said it was liquor talk. There's a man who talking about he's now resigning to go be an activist and serve his people. You sat there for 6 years. Everything Liberians went through. You didn't see reason, all right, to call out your government and let people respect you for the fact that you are part of a government that was doing wrong and you called them out. You spoke about your president. You gossip, as a matter of fact. You gossip about your president and say it was liquor talk. And then you come back and tell us, oh, you're resigning after you're not in power. I don't take that serious, Dr. Peabody. To be honest with you, I don't take him serious. Yep, I don't take him serious. I think you're muted. You're muted, Doc.
He did not have a good reception in the CDC party. After that incident occurred, I think he was sidelined. Very much, he was sidelined. Uh, 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 and it was not good for him. It was just not good. Things were very bad. The president sidelined him, so he was just hanging. I think it was a. I mean, you ask me, I say I think that's a. For me, I think it was good for him to do it because the president had sidelined him. He didn't have that much power in the CDC at
So
all.
then he shouldn't. Then Dr. Peabody, he should make it seem like it's about us. The decision is not about us, because according to what I heard, he claimed that he wants to now become an activist.
Oh
And
wow!
activism is not to make mockery of the problem that people experience. You see what I'm saying? In
Yeah,
in this case, I feel like when he made the declaration, hey, I'm resigning from CDC because I am now going to focus on my activism or to be an advocate. You're lying to yourself. You're not lying to us, because those of us who follow you, we know exactly what you have done over the
yeah,
years. So don't make mockery. Just say they sideline you because you didn't bring much to the institution. You
right.
don't have much value. It's almost like this is the case where the closing argument, and I'm sorry, Dr. Peabody, I'm going to bring this back to the closing argument, right? Where everybody come on here, you want to give you 100%, and one person just jump up and say, I'm not being acknowledged. Nobody gave me enough time to talk, so I'm leaving and I'm going back somewhere. This is exactly the case with the CDC. This is the case.
But look, we're going to see a lot happening right now. Everybody leaving the CDC because the good time is over. All the things they were enjoying. They did not commit a foot. They will go to another group and start. They're not committed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean, these
we
people
not.
should not be giving any relevance. But my view, I would say, is just the continuous hustle.
Yeah.
If you cannot maintain or remain competitive,
Hmm.
you want people to spoon feed you. You want people to give you the attention you need. It's everywhere in the world, Dr. Peabody, is competition. Even at your
Yeah.
workplace, Dr. Peabody, you know other people are competing with you, right?
Right now. Right now.
Everywhere you go, everywhere, even in the churches, people are competing with each other. So
Yeah.
if you come to a group and that group is saying, okay, we must remain competitive, we are not going to spoon feed anybody, then you feel rejected. You
Yeah.
grab yourself and say you're going to establish your group, or you're going to somewhere you feel like you belong. This is the case with Mobile Molo. I really don't take these guys serious. All of them, a lot of and they're putting these things in the minds of the young people to think that that is how politics is. When you're not comfortable, you're not getting a dime or two, get out of it, go
Yep.
somewhere else. And I don't think that's how politics is supposed to be.
That's what's going on. We saw another group break away again from the CDC. NPP left. I think a lot of them said they were leaving. They were going back to form another party and whatever. We saw Edwin Snow break away from. Say he was going back to a group. Everybody trying to find a group, an alignment now. Because
Right.
a lot of them want to be president. A lot of people want to be president. You
Sure.
know, Snow want to be president. Other want to be president, and they are now trying to find the soft spot where they can grab and hold on to them at parties and stuff like that. So we're going to see a lot happen. Martin Cuddy. What do you think about what you make of Martin Cuddy breakaway, resigning from his job?
You know, let me be honest with you, Dr. Peabody. I think we had this conversation before. Martin Cully was not an asset to the UUP. He was a tool that could be used to get what they wanted. They did not value this young man.
Mm,
Again, he came at he was much more of a disadvantage to himself.
mhm.
He was inexperienced. He literally went at people for reasons best known to himself. That wasn't, I mean, the decision made in so many ways. I personally would not have done what he did, But to see that he's breaking away, it's not strange. It should not be strange. Look at Henry Costa. Okay, Henry Costa actually walked away from UP not because he wanted to, but it's because the institution itself don't value people based on what they contribute. All right, the institution is much more of an institution that only use people and then trash them.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that Martin Cully is walking away. The young
But you
man
see,
Cully
it's this.
did not bring much per their view. He was only used for election purpose, and that's
Yeah.
why they kept him around after the election. What else can he contribute to make the institution successful? What else can he contribute to make the government a successful one? If you were to ask this young man, what assets do you have? What do you bring into the table? Then it becomes a little bit shaky. Like, okay, you don't bring anything, you wouldn't bring anything, and we shouldn't have to, rely on you. We talked about this here the other day when you said the asset recovery team, right?
Mhm.
People were talking about, oh, with the asset recovery team, if the president returned and he doesn't do certain things based on what Martin Cully won, he will start
Mhm.
talking. And I told you guys, I told Timberland, I said, Timberland, take my word for it. President Boycott will return and nothing will be done about Martin, renting. All his rents is just going to be listened to. And at the end of the day, they will move on to something else. And this is what is happening. Since his return, have you heard
Yeah.
anything about the asset recovery? No.
Nope.
Have you heard anything about? Yeah, all of these things that Martin Cully is talking about, the reason why I'm not taking him serious is because I'm saying to people, he would not have been this loud had he gotten what he wanted. And this
Okay.
is how we must start to address some of these things. I appreciate the fact that he's providing information to the public, information that he's privileged to. But had he gotten what he wanted, would he have been to where he is today? No. And people keep using this cliche. Wise man change it. It's a cliche. Stop misusing this, and you're overly using it to the extent where I guess it's just wearing away. A wise man change. Wise man changes. Wise woman changes. Guess what? That's misuse of that cliche. Let's throw it away. Martin Cully would not have done what he's doing today had he gotten what he wanted. Anybody
Yep.
can argue that with me,
But,
but I
but,
can.
but, but, but Lofa, isn't this a pattern here? I think for once, I'll say, I believe uh, Martin Cuddy was very genuine. He was, for me, I believe he was genuine. I believe he was honest about it because he wrote in on one of his page that it
Mhm.
was not the kind of thing he expected from the government. He said, "I voted for this guy. I had accurate my friend. I went extra mile." But what they're doing now, it just
Mhm.
does not benefit anybody. I'm leaving. We saw, so it appears to be a pattern within of the party or with the president. We saw, firstly, our brother Costa left. Amara came in. Amara now left. Martin Colley, John Malu. So you can't say all these people are because they didn't get what they wanted. I think the people were just being fair for the way the direction in which the party is going.
Well, no, Dr.
Okay,
Peabody. I'm
you
speaking
did not.
specifically of Martin Cully. I'm speaking specifically of an individual. I'm not talking about everybody else who left. And anybody can argue the case that, okay, this man, he probably, hey, Sita, how are you doing? I'm sorry, I forgot. I did not acknowledge you. I didn't speak to you. How you doing, Miss Beautiful? Sita said, if I don't say hi to her, she's going to shut the show down. But in all reality, let's be fair to Liberia, right? Dr. Peabody, if we are going to change Liberia, we must start with ourselves and the level of consistency that we require of people who wants to be in the limelight. John Malu, you mentioned John Malu, you mentioned the Martin Cully and other people. Let's be honest, Dr. Peabody. Let me ask you this question. I want you to go back in history. Let's look at President Joseph Boykai's work history. Let's look at his record. Why would you want to think that this man could be a better president? Just looking at his work history, for an educated person to consider this man to even serve as the president of a country that is in a deplorable state, healthcare, education, everything. Our entire system is literally rotten and nothing exists. For any rational person to think that President Boycott could actually transform that, I have a big problem with you. For anybody to even consider that. And these are self-proclaimed educated people. But you know why they did it? They weren't doing it because they felt like he's a good leader. Every time you ask them, their justification is this, Dr. Peabody. They're saying, oh, we did it because he had the number. They were not telling you because he was competent or because he is competent, but they are simply saying they did it because they felt like, oh, okay, you know what? He had the number. How in the world can we sit down and justify such things? And that's the reason why I'm saying their decision is not because of anything other, but because they did not get what they wanted. That's the only reason why I'm making that justification. You're muted, Doc.
I got my son in the back room here just yelling, so that's why I always try to mute.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, but the fact here is, man. I mean, your point is on. I agree with you, Lofa. You know, they went there because everybody was talking about numbers. I heard that a long time ago from DeLong. They don't have
Yeah.
come to the States, and I met him at somebody's office, and he was there, and we're talking about who you guys gonna care for the CPP. I did I think we'll care about Baga because he got a number coming, don't have the number. That's what Dylan said that time. We had that conversation, and they're talking about number, but they're not looking at quality. You know,
Exactly.
they're looking at numbers. You know, and from day one, people think people will like to characterize me. I'm not being mean to the president and all of that, but I will not. But I can feel that. Uh, President Barker is a good man. He's a very good man. But I feel at the current level of his age, the energy, the ability to really lead will be a little difficult because he. I mean, look at us. I mean, I'm in my 50. Okay,
Right.
and setting time, certain thing I can do. You feed the body, pinning and all of that, and stuff like that. I got to continuously run, take exercise, do things to keep myself in shape, you know. So what more about a man who's about almost 80 years old, you know, leading and making strong decisions. When you talk to them, they say, "Oh, America got old man too." But the fact is, the American system it works, without Joe Boaca, the system is there and the system works. As compared to Liberia, what the president have all that power. Some of the things that are happening right now in the government, I bet President Boaca, I don't know about some of them. He does not, because you can't keep up with all those things. Not shocked. Tell me what other President Boaca can get and check emails, all the emails and stuff like that. I'll be the first, So we got to understand. I felt that way, but these guys leaving, okay, I think they have seen that the inability of him to really lead and take control. He can't really take control at the moment. Other people are just going there for their own selfish, corrupt behavior. You're not going to change no government. The very people have been sitting now in that country from government to government. What happened when the time comes to leave? When they get another way to chop, they come back. So, but let's talk chime in this.
Let get Toga. At least he's in Liberia. I can see that his entire community is electrified. Even in his car, he's
Love, 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 please. But I just left Tomaling. I went to see Tomaling.
okay.
Since he came, we had our first interaction today, and then I'm headed home, and so that's why you're not getting, the best out of the illumination from an end. But whatever it is, I think I've been following the show from the radio, from Truth FM, and I listen to Lofa, and I listen to you, Dr. Peabody, and the issue of Mobile Malu and that of Martin Cully. You know, uh, Mobile has been very steadfast when it comes to some of the engagements in the CDC. You heard about a situation where there was a whole audio leak from his end, where he was able to say awesome things about the president at the time. He was able to checkmate some issues that he saw happening in the party. He he was able to talk about some people who were fronting already for 2029 that other than wanted to be president, why the party was struggling. He was talking about, I remember in the clip talking about even the NBA boss that he said recruited a lady, reportedly his girlfriend from some USA or UN institution, and she ended up being at the end of the day, I think the boss at the NPA. He talked about a lot of nasty leaked audio. I think that over the time has not gotten him the kind of favor that he wanted within the cycles of the CDC. They felt that audio leak, I think, technically got him very ostracized, and since then he has not had some favors with the president. But some of those things he said in that audio eventually probably led to the defeat of the CDC, especially the part that talked about some of the actors wanting to be president even than George Weah. You heard about the issue of McHale wanted to be president, the issue of Bill Torway wanted to be president, the issue of Samuel Toure wanted to be president, all this kind of stuff. And what Mobile Molu predicted, or what he said in that clip, and like a reality, because even the president himself has mentioned that in one of his church services when he said that, oh, imagine that we're in 2023 and people were already talking about 2029. I think you've listened to some of those clips. So it's clear that what Molu said, must have eroded his relationship with many of the actors in the CDC. So he's now formed a stand organization, and the stand organization is very impressive. It's somewhere right opposite the Charles Taylor's residence in Congo Town. And even I'm hearing, or I saw some of the videos from that the other day. Some of the ANC people, they all in a stand gathering. I saw Mona Fahad and other ANC partisans with Mobile Molu the other day. I'm wondering whether stand will remain as independent as Mobile Molu is saying, whether STEM would not metamorphosize into a political party in the future, because I see a lot of the political actors running onto Mobile Malu, having interactions with him. So I'm just, thinking out loud. But the fact that he resigned officially today from the CDC is something worth talking about. And I was just talking about some of the history related to how he came to where he came. So after the election, very uneasy with him. He had to push it out. He got out of the party. Good thing is that the party brought somebody from the same county like he is, and the person is now running the party. On the Martin Collins situation, you cannot compare the Martin Collins situation 100% to that of the Molu situation. I heard, Lofa talking about maybe he's a young man, and so he was used or misused or whatever. No, Martin Colley is very knowledgeable about Liberian politics. Martin Colley has run most of his life on deception. The deceptive attitude of him, working and partnering with people like Councillor Jerome Verdier. We all saw Jerome Verdier's attitude. It has come down to the field that, in fact, Jerome Verdier was a founding member of the CDC. I don't know whether any of you are seeing or leak information about the entire initial structure of the CDC. And Jerome Verdier is on that. Now, when Jerome Verdier did not get a job in the CDC's government, he attacked everybody in the CDC. most of the people that left the country that were seeking asylum, he fought for them, made sure they got the asylum and stuff. He tried to put himself on a pedestal, to make it appear like he was an activist. The same thing with Martin. Martin cannot be portraying himself as any activist when you took a position within the rescue mission and you effectively carry out your role as a propagandist for the rescue mission.
Exactly.
How do you come back to us and say, I'm returning to activism? We cannot consider Martin an activist. Martin is a politician.
You're politician, you're a politician in disguise.
Yeah, what Martin is doing, Martin tries to buy sympathy from the public to make it appear like he's talking for the public. This is the intelligence, first of all, that I've gotten. That one, the 100 days of the government wires some money to Martin Colley for the 100 days propaganda. The things we're talking about the 22 million, the issues we're talking about the failures of the government 100 days. Watch Martin Colley on the 100 days deliverables. He was propagating the government's message on the 100 days deliverable because the government wired money to him. There are also reports that even the Minister of Commerce, who there are clear signs of some of the folks that he went to school with at the University of Liberia that are saying that he did not officially finish his program at the University of Liberia. The Minister of Commerce, Martin Colley, is being alleged that he requested over 25,000 from this man. He was the first to even write about this man to say this man, his degree is clean. What he got from the US. In fact, what he said that the school the man officially graduated from the US that he announced was the same school that the former education minister Latin Datom that he criticized and said the man had fake credentials. He said the man went to that same school. But when it came to the Minister of Commerce, he said the Minister of Commerce was clear that the Minister of Commerce graduated from the University of Liberia, that the Minister of Commerce graduated from that particular school from the US. People from the University of Liberia say there is nowhere in the souvenir program that the Minister of Commerce graduated from that school. Martin Colley unilaterally cleared that man because at the end of the day, there are reports that the man wired $10,000 to him. Is that on advocacy? Who says in Europe, not officially working on an asylum and builds a multi-million-dollar project? We can't keep doing this. We can't keep putting people in one box and make them appear like independent and credible, and other people not credible. I think that's how he wants to portray himself. He wants to push Bouaka in a corner to make it appear like President Bouaka has failed and that he's standing with the people. No, he's not standing with the people. Martin is standing by himself. All right? You come up and you say, this kind of, allegations, you just level it all over the place and you have succeeded in leveling allegations against other people over the years. It has to stop. You come and you just say, the chief of protocol of the Republic of Liberia that was just got a baby with the Minister of State, and you can't, and because people pay you, you attack the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You start attacking people indiscriminately because you want to prove what? That you are the most independent and credible guy in the country and everybody else is incredible. This is unacceptable, and I think this is where we are. So for me, I don't accept Martin in this space of being anybody independent. I see him as an angry guy, a very disappointed guy, because they brought this government to power when they were told that Joseph Bouaka would not succeed effectively to run a country, and they brought him upon the Liberian people. Now we are subjected to the situation we all subjected to, and then they want to join all of the boat and make it appear like they can join all who are the credible voices. We're not accepting in this cycle. We're very clear about that. Thank you.
But whoever gave you that authority to be the referee,
we're not accepting, man, brother.
Let's go to Chris.
Let him stay on your lead. Stay on your lead.
Very interesting topic tonight. Martin Colley, Moluba Molu. They are leaving. I mean, he's leaving he said he's going to be activist. John Molu is leaving his baby CDC, his darling baby, his sweetheart CDC. Now he's moving away. What's going on here, Grace?
I know, right? But hi, everybody. I'm grateful to be here. I want to say Happy Father's Day to my people on the panel on closing argument, also to all the great fathers of the world. They know we have already roughing up in the back. But it's the right thing to do right here to say Happy Father's Day to them. These people are great fathers. Trust me. You can see them with their kids. They do things with their kids. So I want to put it out there. Well, Dr. Peabody, Martin Colley, I don't want to subscribe.
Wait, great. Did you say Happy Father's Day to us?
Yes, you never heard that?
I was just making sure I heard you right.
Happy Father's Day
I'm
to
just
all
playing.
the TCA panelists, the fathers, the great fathers. Happy Father's Day to them and all the listeners and Facebook, in Facebook world and in Liberia. Happy belated Father's Day to you guys. Look how you said it now?
Yeah, I'm very satisfied now.
Oh, well, yeah, but you know what? I don't want to subscribe to Martin Colley rhetorics and his foolishness, I would say.
Thank you.
Martin Colley was the same person during the election. He insulted me on one of his posts. And don't get me. And I have supported Martin Colley in a lot of stuff that he has done. So I was just like, okay, it doesn't matter because people can do that, insult people all the times. Like people, they don't know how to interact when it comes to communication with other people. At the end of the day, it goes to insults and, name calling and all of that instead of us focus on the actual issue. So I understand that my skin is thick enough for that. But right now, you cannot tell us that you sat in for 6 years criticizing we are government and everything that was wrong with we are government. When you did the elections came about, you are a young man, you decided that you would bend your back for an old man to claim on it and ascend into power. And we're not taking anything when it comes to age because older people too have the rights if they have that capacity and the stamina and they have, what it takes to lead the country. But we are no longer in the stone age. We are in the computer age. You have to make sure you dissect that information, knowing that whether this person able to do what is required right now in the 21st century. You did not do your due diligence on none of that. Or you did your due diligence, but just because you were promised a certain thing within the government that was supposed to ascend to power, you joined these people. You will insult anybody that came across across you like they were wrong. You did all those things. And with all the rumors around here that you took money from this place and took money from that place, and most of the time in Liberian women, most of them can be true. You took money for this place, you took money for that place, and now you come to tell us now because you were appointed on a team that you cannot work with, and the team has not proven anything to say whether they can bring information or what investigation for the Liberian people. You oh gosh, you're sorry. The thing talking about, yeah. Then you come to tell us now that because you don't have it your way. I have to take out this. You're sorry because it's talking in my ear.
Something they said.
No, when somebody send message, I can hear them explaining. And then you come to tell us now that okay, because you're not having your way, and what you want, or maybe the position you're requiring, or maybe the whatsoever you were promised, you're not getting it now. The government is not good enough. But we all knew that Joseph Boakai government was not going to be able to deliver to the Liberian people. That's why some of us stood on the other side of the aisle and said this is not going to be possible. You explain to the Liberian people with all your might, you Martin Colley, that it was going to be possible, and you lay all your information down that you have, and you were the rumble in this whole fight. And now in less than 7 months, you come to the Liberian people now because you're not having your way. You can't cry about your spilled milk. You look like a child to us. That's how we look at you. So we don't want to hear that, especially we who knew in our rightful mind that this government was not going to be able to deliver for the Liberian people, especially where Liberia is at this time. We needed somebody to hit the ground running, and we knew that Joseph Boakai would not have that because he already is a man who had already retired, and he's supposed to remain in that retirement. And y'all say no. So we don't want, like me, I will not subscribe to his, I know he will go on other platforms, but if he come here, I don't like to talk behind people's back. I like them to be in my face. If he comes here, we're asking the right questions. And as for Moluba Molu, their business can just be tiring. How now you say you won't form a whole movement or whole different organization and you retire from CDC and this and that? You're supposed to be retired from government work totally, from Liberian politics totally. Because as far as we're concerned, your being there did not do any progress to our country. So if you're missing, we're not going to miss you. We need fresh minds. We need new people. We need young children. We need innovative minds to come out and start to push the mantle. Pass the mantle to somebody else. You left CDC. Why did you leave CDC? You think you're going to start a different movement to bring who into power now? Or who are you trying? What are you trying to do? I don't understand the whole organization, the whole or movement that he's forming. It doesn't add up to me. But I will look into it a little bit more. That's what I have to say for now.
Alex Churchill Jones just joining us in Timberland, George. Just joining us. Welcome, guys. Let's go to Timberland, and then Alex, and then we'll go to Timberland in studio in Liberia.
Okay, I mean, the Chief Tomlin wants to go, or I can go.
Any one of you. Okay, Timberland.
Okay.
I think you should go ahead.
Okay, you guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Very
you.
clear, very clear.
Well, it's good to be back on the closing argument, and it's 10:12 p.m. in Monrovia, but I had to come into the studio because I have a problem with internet at where. Yeah, but the news trending is in the city. First, we talk about the issue about the University of Liberia students. I'm sure Toga will expand more on that because
He did.
okay. And then also the issue about Martin Colley. I will come for a different approach, and I respect Comrade Colley. It doesn't matter. In politics, you can take a side. You can support whoever you want to vote for or support you want to support. He felt that Boyka was the right person to run the country, so he put his hope beyond President Boyka, and he supported them. But the fact of the matter that he has the courage to immediately to step out and say, no, I don't like the way how this is going. That's not what we signed up for. Even though some people say he was advised that you were on the wrong train, but he went to support his train. But the fact that he's not playing blind loyalism, there's some people you will find out that know that things are not happening the right way, things are not going the right way, but they will still pretend as if things are all fine, and they will still be defending. But when they're in private, they will come and express their dissatisfaction. You may say he's not doing it the right way by coming so quickly and attacking the president that he put in power, but to just dismiss him, the question is, what he's saying, what is this true or not? Things he's talking about. People who are not qualified, they were given positions. People who are involved in mismanagement of funds so far. That he talked about the asset recovery team. It's true that the chairperson of the asset recovery, yeah, he's started spending money as if to say the money was just available, and then they offer him and say, "Hey, Martin, come for your salary." Come on, the man said, "I haven't worked. Why are you taking salary for? I haven't worked." But initially, some people said, "Oh, you got $1 million money, that's why you're acting this way." If that was the case, you are taking a 3-month salary and say, "Well, nobody know about this." But he said, "No, I don't want it."
I can't. Once my political stuff starts, that's where I stay. That's my entire life right there. So
You know we can hear you here.
Stuff there. Damn good.
You know we can hear you.
So for the fact of the matter is of that he took that position, and he has resigned from the committee, and he's he said he was going to do. He has done it, and now he's back to activism, and you can't dismiss him. Trust me, he's a give or take. You may not like him as a person or well his political positions, but he's a very smart guy. He research very well, and his facts may not always be right. Some of them, but he will do his homework. He goes and research, and so I can see things will happen, and more things are going to happen, and people will be running for defense. Okay, running for defense, and especially so right now, I was informed that the president saying that the government should be run through the Ministry of Information and not through social media or on platforms. So you hardly see any of the government officials running the platforms or social media. From what I'm hearing, they'll be speaking through the Ministry of Information. So, but when you take things to take them to tax, they will definitely have to come and dispel whatever has been said. So, like right now, I have.
But Tumani, I got a question for you though.
Yeah, let me learn quick. Let me learn quick. In my possession, I got some serious documents already about certain things that are happening, but we will reach out to these people that are involved, and we hear that get in the due diligence and hear what they're going to say. But definitely, if we come up with these stories on them and start to talk about it, they would definitely have a common platform to defend themselves or to clarify. But we'll give them the opportunity to come and defend themselves. But reach out to them and ask them. And if you cannot come and we'll give you opportunity to come and defend yourself on the platform, come. We're not going to. And this platform, as I repeat, it's not for the opposition. No, closing argument is not for opposition, not for the government. We feel we are independent. Some people got political affiliations here, but for me, I'm independent. I may have supported the CDC in the second round, but that doesn't mean that I'll be on the platform defending CDC or promoting CDC. No, I'm independent.
So you no longer, because you don't want to start at CDC?
Yeah, but I'm independent right now. Independent. I'm independent right now. As one on the platform, I'm being independent because I cannot take sides on the platform. I'll be independent.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't be in a position to criticize and praise when necessary. So
my question to you quickly.
Progression, you will not let this man win.
I don't want to forget.
Tomali the guest?
Yeah, he the guest tonight. Tomali, my question to you is that during the campaign, there was deception in the campaign from all angles, especially in some parties. Martin Colley saw some deceptions in Unity Party, the way they even campaigned. Some of the monies that Joseph Boakai took from other people that were not credible, that gave him money. And the news were out here. A lot of information was spread. But then he still did not get off the train. So how you saw all these things and you saw love like where you were activists, that time you couldn't stand your ground. So some of us think that now that we're going into 7 months almost to the presidency or in this government, means that something went wrong that you don't like, that has to do with you personally. That's why you will come against a government that you stood and supported for so many months or so many years, because they started this thing before we are trying to even end. We couldn't even breathe within Martin Colley. So he my thing is that he knowing that you picking with these deceptions and a lot of things went wrong, and he knew he was doing a research. As you think he's a researcher, he knew something was not adding up, and he still was on that old nasty dirty train. And now he won't go over the train. Now the train, we got to put him back on the train. He want to be on that train.
Grace, quickly, welcome to Politics 101. Politics, especially all Liberian politics, about deception, propaganda, and lies and people do.
No.
What you see people do, they try to misinformation. They will do, at the end of the day, they want a candidate to win. If you try to do it, you want to do it the right way, you want to do it straight by the book, you end up getting 0%. You see what when you want to go that way, you get what happens.
Or you get 1%.
People make the case for their candidate, and as far as they're concerned, they felt that Joe Boakai was the right person to defeat WIA, and they did all kinds of stuff. They talk about harmonization, talk about this and that. At the end of the day, and they said when you win, people pay will be different. This will happen, and they made a case. The corruption, they said, will be fortunate. They will make sure people are brought to justice, people are held accountable. But already hearing news about things that are happening right now. We're on an investigation already. We see what happened at the DEA, what happened in other agencies of government. They're taking place. So end of the day, but some of them were there for that with a whole heart. But we will all be in the same team. But some people will be saying, well, I'm there for Liberia. Some people will be there for their own personal interest. And so many of the persons that make maybe to go according, like for instance, they got the Senate. You think it was fair for them to go to Grand Bassa and spend all that money when JFK don't have jobs, LU students don't have buses to transport the teachers that have it crying, to go to Buchanan and take each of them take $10,000 each, and not even a pay, just to spend less than 4 days there, pay, and they spend all that money. And tell me, and these are people that many of them in our Senate won't run for president. Okay, so it better you call them out already. Okay, but they'll tell you say they're here for Liberian people, and now it's so shameful that some of them cannot even show face now. They can't talk to defend it. So they will come out and tell you, say, well, I'm not aware of this, but now we get the facts together. But so for Martin, yes, and Martin submitted a call. He said he wanted to be the rescue team was the best for him. By the end of the day, but the thing I will tell you as I end, for the fact that he came out early, he's not playing. So there are some people who know right now things are not right, but they are defending. They are playing. They like, they'll give the people chance, give us chance, just coming. But Martin said from the early stage, no, I'm not going to accept it. I'm speaking out right now. Okay. Other things that the promises he made to people, things that he did say in the past, he will meet up with it as they go along the road. But right now, I think you for the fact that he's had the fortitude to come up and speak out and criticize, give it to him. But again, that's Liberian politics, though. Let me tell you.
Yeah, before
can I just chime in like 30 seconds if you don't mind?
I want Alex to comment because I haven't spoken, but you
No, let him go ahead. Let him go ahead.
Okay.
Right,
no, I was just gonna say this is why I think we should change the dynamics of Liberia politics. The deception, the fact that Tamerlane would sit here and say this is how politics is in Liberia proves my point. All right, this is not how politics is. Politics is not about deception. It is about the exchange of ideas for progress, not deceptive views and purposely lying about things that you know. The young man purposely made his decision. He said, okay, I'm going to get on the excuse, not rescue train. Just like Alex Jones, when Alex purposely said he was going to make the case for President Boakai, he knew what he was doing. So when these things are we should not try to cover them up to say, oh, you know what? Let's just hold on. The man was doing his part as a Liberian. No, because we have 6 years where young people will have to live with the decision that we have made. Now, the 6 years, these young people will have no option but to live with the bad governance. And I really want to hear why in the world would anybody ever think about considering a President Boakai anywhere in the world, looking at his history? Why in the world would anybody want to consider this man for president? But maybe Ellis will better educate me on why he felt the need to make the case for President Boakai presidency. So I'll stop at that.
Before Alex come in, then after Alex.
Thank you, gentlemen and lady.
Go ahead, Alex.
Beautiful Grace, brilliant. With your wonderful article in Smart News. I'll use about 5 seconds to just make some quick public announcement. One, I've decided to join the editorial board of Smart News Liberia as part of my effort to change Liberia corrupt media, to open it up to people to view, to hold political leaders and public figures accountable. So I want to make that full disclosure. I have an interest in it. I'm on the editorial board.
Please be putting your byline whenever you write, so we know that it's coming directly from you, so we don't tie it straight to the entire entity, please.
Is that the same?
No, when I do right,
we want to know who we're responding to. When I be responding,
no, and again, Smart News have written articles against me. I do not control what the journalists or the editors will agree upon. I do not have any influence. They are free to write about anybody, including myself. They're free to hold me accountable. And whenever I read an article, I will place my name that this is coming from me and so forth. So I just want to, because most times in our society, we criticize for our solution. If I'm going to criticize the press and the media and say they're corrupt, which they are, then I must be willing to change that. So that is part of my effort. The second public announcement I want to make, I welcome the MLB welcome the potential sanction on officials of the CDC. However, we are going to be pursuing that people from the UP government, including Amar Conan, including Robert Salif, also be part of that sanction for corruption as well. So we'll be writing the United States government in that pursuit. So those are the two public announcements I want to make. Again, I want to thank you guys for this show. I think it's having a great impact. I want to thank all the people from around the world who's reached out to me and encouraged me and asked me to continue staying on this show despite all of the criticism from some of my panelists, the interruption, the disrespect, all that stuff. And so I want to thank them for watching, and I will do everything possible as best as I can to remain on the show to push the agenda of independence. Lastly, Chris, I must agree with you on the issue of Martin Colley, even though you're my colleague. But before I do that, I would like my other panelists, Dr. Peabody, Robert Gago, Lofa Julius, to please state for the Liberian people who they support. Because you can't have a conversation when you don't disclose who you support, what political party or political leader you support, but you every day here talking about other people who magically support this person, but you analyzing them. So I think any public figure or journalist, before you come and start criticizing other people about flip-flopping or changing or what, you should be bold enough and courageous enough to clearly state your political leader. And one person cannot support two people in a race. You'll be like the guy who are wearing the CDC hat and a Unity Party t-shirt. That's some of the corruption we're talking about. And my friend Lofa, that's how you always sound. You can support three people. You can say, I support this person. And when this person is out, I support this person, but you cannot be deceptive. You cannot support, it's like having three girlfriends and saying, I love all of them. It's not possible. So I would like when your time comes, so please, for my own benefit, so I don't go out and say, oh, this man support this person, so please be genuine to the Liberian people. I think I've been very clear on who I support when I supported them. And if I end my support, I think you heard Ben, I come up publicly, I put it on my page, I no longer support this person for the record. So Grace, what I'm saying about the interview, I listened to the interview on Martin Colley, and I disagree. The fact that I think he needs to make an apology to those people he insulted. Okay, he needs to do that first of all, as a human being, because we have this tendency where when we believe in somebody, we tend to disregard and disrespect everyone. It's a very immature behavior. You can disagree with other people, we're all insulting them. The only people who should be insulted in Liberia are the leaders, the political leaders, the government leaders, because deservingly, they haven't done anything for Liberian people. Deservingly, they collected money, public figure. But if somebody is not a public figure, really, you can't hold them responsible for changing Liberia. They can do their own contribution, philanthropy, but the people you're supposed to be insulting, and like I said, the people I insult are the people who are responsible for the millions of young people suffering in our country, for the destitution, for the corruption. And I make no apologies for that. I will continue to insult those people. I will continue to disrespect them. And I call on all Liberian people, your leaders have failed them. They don't deserve any respect. Any respect. Anybody who is in this government, whether it's the Unity Party government, the CDC government, or the political leaders, they must be accountable. Where I disagree with you, people must have the ability to change. And I applaud Martin Colley for first coming up and saying, you know what, I made a mistake. I made some mistakes. I came behind this man, like you said. I supported him. I broke good relationships. I was naive. I was stupid, basically. But now I realize that he's not the right person. So I think we should welcome those kinds of, contrition. We should welcome people who, they say wise man changes. I'm not perfect. There are people I supported, like one Gonglo, briefly. And as I got to know his legacy and I got to interview him and talk to him, I felt that he was not representation of what I wanted to see in Liberia. And I respectfully disassociated myself with him. No harm, no far. It's not that he's not a good man. We just don't have the same political ideology. And that should be welcome. People shouldn't be criticized for doing that. The people who should be criticized are people who are playing this game where one, you go into, you supporting one political leader, but then you want to come on the air and pretend like you're not, and you're going to pretend like you're good. It's a democracy. You have to support somebody, or shut up and don't come here. Thank you. I'll stop there for now.
All right, guys. Just before we go to Robert, I just want to make this announcement that this Wednesday we will have the former finance minister of the Republic of Liberia and the senator of Bapulu County, former World Bank employee Amara Kone, will be joining us on the closing argument for the first time. So we ask that you tune in. Come on Wednesday, Senator Kone will be joining us. So come and hear what's going on. But before we go to Robert, I did some inquiry on the medication that were provided to the Ambassador Hospital last week. I was informed that those medication. I heard Senator Dillon say, "Oh, we brought something. You will be happy when we come." They were not given by the Senate. It was Sir Joseph through the Gateway Medical Incorporated in the U.S. that presented the medication to the Grand Bassa Hospital. It was not Senate. The Senate took $10,000. If they were serious, they could have put that $10,000 together and said, "Let's give it to the Bassa Hospital and give them medicine." But after pocketing the 10 grand, they kind of squeezed up behind Senator Sir Joseph, acting like they were carrying gift for the hospital. And he Saad vehemently denied that and said that it was from his group that presented. It was not the Senate. So I just want to make that clear. But Robert, go ahead.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Robert. Can I just get some clarity here? Did you say it wasn't the senator who actually donated that? Somebody else did?
It was not the senators. All of them were together that day and said they were presenting it. They said they were giving it to the hospital. It was not. Senator Sir Joseph said it was his team. It was Sir Joseph Group that presented it to Bassa Hospital. The senator had nothing to do with it. They didn't know anything about it.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was.
It's great to be back on. It's always a great time on the closing argument. There's two things specifically I want to talk about. First, I would not waste my time on Martin. I think he writes better than he articulates, and I think that he's a walking contradiction. I listened partly to the interview, and it was unfortunate that Keatamba and the other gentleman basically voluntarily engaged in an elementary show. Pretty much that's what it was, right? If you listen to the kid, he basically contradicted himself multiple times. You can't be mad at Grisby, and you can't say that Grisby is corrupt, yet you're recommending John Malou as a guy who would have done better than Grisby. You can be mad at Grisby and others, yet you think that Jerry Verdict will be someone who will move the needle when it comes to access recovery. You can't talk about transparency and demand that President Joseph Boakai has not released or published his access, which is one of the reasons why you decided to retreat. But yet and still, as a young man who fled Liberia in 2019, two things happened. You've done that I don't think any decent Liberian would have done. That is that you accepted a job from ELSA. You knew that you were getting paid $7,000 for this job. You still accepted the job. Why in ELSA? The government for which you fled no longer exists. In the same sentence, he indicated that it hurts his heart to be in ELSA. So if the government for which you fled in 2019 no longer exists, what is still keeping you in ELSA? If you truly miss your people, why has he not gone back home? He knew what he was walking into. He accepted this job from ELSA, and he accepted to work for this government from ELSA. And so he everything that comes out his mouth, from my perspective, contradicts what he truly stands for. Martin cannot tell me that he truly did not do his due diligence understanding the characteristic he supported. Martin cannot tell me he did not know that Grisby had a close proximity to the president, even prior to George Weah conceding. And so, I don't take him seriously. I disagree with those who want to give him credit that he's speaking out. Look, I respect men and women who make decisions based on principles, and I respect people who says, you know what, I supported an idea, but if this idea does not work, I'm against the idea. But if you knew that the person you supported amongst the other candidate truly did not reflect what change meant, then what did you expect? What did you expect? Any logical and intellectual person would have read through the lines that Unity Party and Joseph Boakai did not represent change. Unity Party and Joseph Boakai were not the alternative on the basis of change when it came to these elections. Joseph Boakai was not the only candidate going against the CDC-led government. You had other reputable candidates, people who had the record, people who could have changed that country. You had many, many options. And even though my brother Alex will not agree with me, and that's understandable, but perhaps Alex Cummings probably would have been a better candidate, right? Perhaps Dr. Monaba would have been a better choice, right? You had options. And so to sit and say, we didn't think CDC was the party to continue down this path, and so we retreated and we supported a train that anyone would have noticed would have broken down from the beginning, right? The same train that was parked under the same institution you have for 12 years, the same institution Martin said he fought under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, which Joseph Boakai was a part of. Did he forget that Joseph Boakai served as vice president for 12 years under the regime that he said he fought and challenged? Look, all of us are not stupid. And so when people start to talk, I think it's important that we truly listen to what they're saying and we intellectually analyze what they're saying. So I don't take him serious. And look, don't bring him on this platform, because the day he comes on this platform, he's going to embarrass himself.
Right. We talked about that point in the back.
The last thing I want to talk about is the whole doc. Just give me 1 minute, please. I know Senator Amarikona will come on the show, and we will all have the opportunity to ask him questions. But I want to speak on this since I've been informed on this issue and since I've seen the facts. I think it's important that we see facts when it comes to certain things, and it's important that those of us who have contacts with these folks reaches out to them. And this is a reputable platform. We will get the opportunity to ask him the questions on Wednesday. But few things I want to mention here, and the media has not really talked about. One, the two things happening here that was messed up. One is the Senate retreat had nothing to do with the $10,000 that were given to each senator. That has been confirmed. And I would challenge the executive branch of government. There was a budget that was passed, and that budget had also a lot to do with the retreat. My question to the finance minister of this government, and I know he's listening, why has you guys now published the budget for the public to see what the government has spent? It's been 30 days since the budget was passed. I'm getting echo. Can we mute ourselves?
Guys, please mute yourself. Guys, please mute yourself if you're not talking.
Since the budget was passed, Toga.
Why has it,
I think Willie. Well, I think it was him. Yeah. Since the budget was passed, why have the executive now published the budget? You and I should be able to go online, look at the budget, line item, and read what was in the budget. The $10,000 that was given to senators were constituency visit fee, something that Amarikona meant there. That $10,000 should have been given to senators before the retreat happened. What happened? That money was distributed to the senators at the same time the retreat was going on. Senators were given 328,000 Liberian dollars as per diem for the retreat. Facts. When you add 320,000 Liberian dollars you get $1,000, $708 US. That's what they were giving for per dime. When Senator Amara Connor spoke about 2 days, he was counting the mean days of the retreat, which was on Friday and Saturday.
So why don't you wait for Amara's appearance?
No, but no, I don't have to wait for Amara's appearance. Amara have more facts. I'm just giving you. Wait, I'm just giving you the surface.
On Wednesday. So why you?
Wait, I'm giving you but I'm speaking on this issue because I'm speaking on this issue because
Well, the other guys got to talk. Let's
we have the chance to talk about it. But the truth of the matter is, the truth of the matter is, 1 second, please, let me land. The truth of the matter is, there was no $700,000 spent in Buchanan. $10,000 was given to senators. If you divide them by 29, it's $290,000. But that money was separate from the retreat, and I just want to put that out there. But Senator Amara will be here and will have the opportunity to speak to him. But why have the executive not published the budget? Publish the budget.
Listen, guys.
But it's wrong. They should not. Why did you get $10,000 for? It's wrong. We're not defending them.
But that's what I'm saying. If you publish the budget, we will know what's in it.
Okay, so let me ask.
Guys, we're proceeding that right. Rabbi's done. Let's go to Kalabu. Kalabu haven't spoken. Kalabu, go ahead.
10 seconds. Let me just say this quickly. 2 things I picked from Robert's explanation. Unfortunately, when I checked, Robert has never worked for the LeBron Senate, and he's not a spokesman of the LeBron Senate. And I hope he can be reminded on that. Listen, the very Senate, under George Weah, when the 30,000, which were meant for constituency visitation, then the Senate come up to say they have taken it out of their budget. In fact, Darius DeLong was on Spoon Network, defending that it was not there. And Akara's grace said it was there because the amount of both the House and the Senate budget didn't change. Now, it's interesting that Amara told Raul Gagwa that the 10,000 was for constituency visitation. That means they're still taking the $30,000, but just in smaller amount to reach the 30,000.
But it's not a dispute. It's not a dispute. I'm not correcting the facts as regards to the 2 different separate money. It's not a dispute.
So the second thing I also want to say on Raul's statement is the budget, guys that watch his trend, the Deputy Minister of Finance for Administration, that the printing of the budget, that $200,000 scandal, corruption, there was a whistleblower on that the amount was inflated. That request was linked to printing of the budget. Now we can understand why there is a delay, because the corruption started at the Ministry of Finance. They wanted to inflate to get more money just to print the budget. But what surprises me, I'm not surprised, the discouraging part, which is a pattern of the LeBron Senate or many people in the government, is to start spending from a budget that is not published.
That's the point. Publish the budget. That's the point.
And call finance. Look on there. No, we approved the one for. That's lack of transparency.
Absolutely.
We want an open and accountable government.
Absolutely.
That is what we want. I just stopped.
Publish the budget.
Let me just correct you guys. The budget is published. If you go on the ministry.
Where?
Hold on, yeah.
No, Ellis Jones.
It's not published. It's not.
No, Ellis.
Don't make
let me give you.
What you see over there is
Guys, let him tell us where the budget is published. Guys, let him tell us. Maybe he know what we don't know. Though. Let him tell us where it is published.
My man,
but we don't know yet. Let him tell us where he knows it is published.
That is a fact. What you
hold
see
on.
there
I will send that to you.
Alex, what you're seeing,
but that is the budget
that was placed.
That was signed.
Went to the legislature.
Okay.
What is there?
But that was what was signed. That's what they're operating from.
No. What is there?
That's why we're confused, because what the Senate has spent is in the budget.
Since the legislature passed the budget,
it's not
they
published
went to the president for signature. It has not been published. That's why some lawmakers
so that minor changes.
Okay, hold on 1 minute, please. Hold on 1 minute, Ellis, hold on 1 minute. That's the reason why some lawmakers, including the Unity Party's lawmaker who was the candidate for speakership, Representative Koon. If you went on his page now, I think his name should be Nambe Koon, Koon. He's even alleging that some $40 million was redirected in another direction. So they are talking about there was an alteration of the budget because the budget has not been published. So lawmakers are even raising the concern that there was some altering that went on. They are talking about a shift of around 40 million that went into different sectors. One of them specifically into that legislature and other places. So they sent to the public that, oh, we're reducing our different budgets. We're reducing the budget for the speaker, for the pro tem, for the legislature. That's what the public knew. Now, the alteration, what many people are saying now is that they did that alteration to put that same money back into those same places that they said they were reducing. So it's a debate today on Capitol Hill. So the budget has not been published.
Can I please respond now?
Oh, go ahead. Then Chris will come in. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm looking here at the Ministry of Finance and Development website. I don't know where you guys get your information from, but that's where I go to retrieve the national budget or information on the government. And on that site, there is a PDF that says the national budget. And it has all of the figures for the Senate. It has all of the years, and I can put that link in anything for you guys to review. Let me put it there right now. So when you say the budget is not published, this is a publication. It's right there. This is a publication. You go to that link, it will give you, because that's what I read and I see in that thing under the Senate. It does not say draft. Listen to me. Listen what I'm saying. I can read. Listen to what I'm saying. Is a draft or not? When I go on the site, it says this is the national budget. It does not say this is the draft budget. So that's what I go by in that budget. It says the Senate of Liberia 2024 is $10,227. That's how much the Senate gets. They get $10,227,000. The compensation is $7.5 million. The use of goods and services, $1.8 million. So apparently the $1.8 million is what they are dishing out, but the budget is published and it's on their website. I didn't create that site. That's what it said. So you can call the finance minister and you can dispute that with the finance minister.
Alex.
Secondly, Robert, you did not mention your political party.
You see the president's signature on it? You see the president's signature on it?
You guys know when the Senate, when the legislature...
You know the president's signature. When the budget is fully passed, the president's signature should be there.
That's
why it goes to the president for signature. The one you see, do you see the president's signature on it?
Oh, God.
Let's
listen to this.
Yeah, guys,
educated people. If that's what the people put out there, we're educated people. If you have a problem with it, contact your journalist. Contact the Ministry of Finance. But the people say this is the 2024 budget.
You're not accepting the information.
Why would they have a budget?
When the budget becomes a law, it means the president has signature it. The one you see there,
that's why they have it up.
Signature there.
Yeah, but what we're telling you, it's not published. You keep
it is not published. The president's signature is not there.
When something is on a website,
you guys want to take control here?
Put on a website, it means it's published.
That should be on
listen, guys. We gotta get folks to talk.
When the legislature passed the budget into law, if we know that date, because when the publication, I'm looking at the same Ministry of Finance website, so there is a date there, right? So if we know when the Senate voted on the budget, we can compare the date with the date on the Ministry website, because we know the posting date is there. I'm looking at it. One was Lola March 2024. In March, did the legislature pass the budget into law in March?
No. Legislature passed the budget less than 2 weeks ago.
Guys, let's bring Chris on.
It's an old information. Let's look at the date.
It's an old information that you're looking at. That's what I'm telling you, Ellis Jones.
Let's bring Chris on. Chris, come on.
Toga, you need to let it be now, Toga. Yeah.
No.
No, Toga is a journalist.
They've been running for president. They may know how the budget process works. He's running for president of the country. We can't be here. The man running for president of the country. They may not understand the budget process.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
the budget is published. You see, there's some of the cheap shots. Listen, you are journalists. Listen, there's some of the cheap shots. We're here to discuss issues, program. What I'm saying here is I go by what. Listen, no. I go by what is
Right,
public.
Alex, let's let Grace come in.
It's different.
But the thing is,
Grace,
published
if
on the
like you were
website. What
saying this, Grace, I would
published
understand
means
it.
it's
But
available
when
for you to
somebody
read.
running for
No, Alex, the
president,
final
no,
budget
I
has
can't
not
lie,
been
it's lie.
published.
Because you're running
It's a
for
fact.
president.
So what is there? You can read what is there. It says the
That's what we
national
got.
budget
No.
for
What is that?
2024.
It's not the budget. That is not the actual budget. That's what you're
So what is it? Then why would they say this is the
That's why I
2024
said from the
national
beginning,
budget?
we challenge the executive and the finance minister to publish the budget. The law actors is not reflected.
So where you gonna publish here?
It's not published yet.
But
Okay,
but
round
why
up,
you
guys.
gonna put it?
Guys,
in fact, when you just narrated Ellis, you talking about the legislature for the legislature. Do you know that the legislature has gone up to almost 30 million in the new budget? What you talking?
Grace, go ahead.
Just
Grace, go ahead.
10 million
Guys,
for
let Grace
this,
talk,
1
please.
million for another, 7 million. You just talking
Yeah,
about 8
notice that
million.
when
The legislature actually passed over 30 million for themselves.
That's the
And
difference.
you just naming 80. So
You
it's not
see,
the
you
budget.
said
That's what I'm telling you. It's
Okay,
not it.
Toga. Let's get Grace chance to talk. Let's get a chance.
Yeah, great. Go ahead.
Amen. Thank you, brother man. Woo. Jesus Christ. But what I wanted to say is that, I heard you guys talk about Martin. I wanted to come back to that. Now, they got Martin, I will not take his brilliance away from him. They got some people that can write and they don't speak. They don't know how to say it, but they know how to write it. They got some people that can say it, they don't know how to write it. They got some people that can do both. So that about Martin, when it comes to his writing, I will applaud him for that. But still, the question remains, and I'm just going to say this and let it be. I know Alex is saying, you can support people and then you can change. My question is, what is behind the change? That's the question. Are you changing because of selfish greed? Is it because you wanted something and you did not get it? Because everybody know, you could even tell the people in the submarine. Well, I'm able to be in the submarine for 2-3 years. You can bring it up. They will tell you that Joseph Boakai was not the person to rule like at this time, especially where our country is. And it's not, I will always say it's not because of age, it's because of the idea behind the age. So it's not because of age so much, but the idea behind the age. So I don't want to take away from him when it comes to what he has to say to the public, but I still feel that the change that he's making now because of selfish greed. It's not because he loved the Liberian people so much and he wants to step away because he doesn't see what is right. He knew these things. He just decided to go that way because he knew he was going to get something out of it. Now he's not getting anything out of it, then it's a problem for him. So I would just leave it at that until we get on another topic. And that's the reason why I, the only person, will go for a very short time on this platform because I understand other people have to talk. And I'm not a tour guy who would just like be talking and other people. So I will let
Shot fired. Shot fired.
2 minutes.
Shot fired. Shot fired.
Yeah, for 2 minutes. 2 minutes got something to say, and then we'll go to the
Me and Lofa on the seaside tonight. Imagine.
Somebody, can you give me 20 seconds, please, sir? I'll buy you data.
No, we don't trade. We don't trade. This is not a war.
You're bribing the talk.
I give you 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Before Tomalin come in, I want my sister Grace to think about this. Martin challenged the president for not publishing his access and being transparent.
Right.
Martin left Liberia a very broke young man when he fled. We don't know how he has sustained himself in exile. The very Martin from exile, before he graduated, posted a huge structure. And up to today's day, we don't know how he acquired that funding to build that structure. Listen, when certain people write, I don't care whether or not that subject and verb agree, or whether or not they can articulate as much as they write. We must listen to what they're saying, and or we must read the fine lines in what they write. That kid is a walking contradiction. He has absolutely no credibility, and we must scrutinize him the right way on this platform. Thank you.
Yes. Again, guys, I posted in the chat room. that's a breaking news though. To find out what Voleda did. I know how you handle that, but you should read that stuff. Is the facts are coming up though, and
which one? Which one? Tell me.
The one about how coming guy arrested.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all read it. It's very interesting though. Doing the bogus case against Cummings. I call him, people I call it bogus case.
That's how
bogus.
I mean.
Yeah, but y'all read it. It's an interesting thing.
Robert, I want to know your political affiliation, please. You evaded that question. Please tell us who you support in Liberia for leadership election.
Well, after tonight's show, you guys can host a conference called to get
No, I mean, Lofa, I'm not speaking to you. You can tell us too. But let me hear from my brother Robert.
I don't think tonight is about telling our political affiliation.
Alex, don't even go there with me.
My question is addressed to Robert, please, Mr.
I understand, but I'm just saying.
You have very strong political views. Can you tell the Liberian people which political party or which political leader?
I mean, how is that even relevant to the conversation right now?
I'm not talking to you. I'm asking the same question because we don't want people playing two games in a corrupt politician where you one day tell us you have the opportunity today. Please tell us.
Okay, let me address this. Okay, Alex.
Jamal said that Robert I see.
Okay, Alex,
why you don't ask Alex to support or Robert?
From my mouth. Okay, Alex.
Whether you running stuff or you supporting somebody, let you say it.
Okay, Alex, hear from my mouth. Here are the facts. I have never joined a political club in Liberia. One, I have never supported any political candidate. Two, I have never voted for, neither have I endorsed any political candidate. And the reason why is because none of the political parties aligns with my core values and my principles or my vision for where I see Liberia. And here is the thing. At the appropriate time, when deemed fit, I will make a patriotic decision as to who I support. And it will not be based on tribalism. It will not be based on a knee-jerk. It will not be based on who I don't like in government right now. It will be based on my core values and what I stand. Last but not the least, I, Robert Glade Gagwa, would not be bullied, persuaded, or forced into joining a political party or picking a side. I am an independent Liberian, and I will remain so.
So you independent.
Chris, let me ask Robert.
Yeah, we gotta move on.
Yeah, please, I beg you. One more thing. This one way just Robert, you've been shouting around the airwaves, talking about Mr. Cummings is a decent man. Mr. Cummings is this. He's capable. And you said here, Mr. Cummings runs a political party, or which you just said no Liberian political party or club. Isn't that disrespect and contradiction?
I don't support individuals. I support institutions. I'm an institutional guy.
Yeah, so ANC, why do you support ANC? This is the problem with our politics. Why do you support ANC?
And so the fact that because I like Alex Cummings, I must support his political views. Yeah. I don't do that.
But he wants a party.
A political institution that does not share my core values. Why must I support him? Why must I join ANC?
So he's a failure. So he's a political failure then.
When I join a party, it will not be based on an individual. It will be based on the values.
Right? So his party is a political club.
Okay, guys, we gotta move on.
Let's move on.
We gotta move on.
Can we talk about the University of Liberia?
Alex, who do you
Can we talk about the University of
Liberia? Guys, we gotta move on. We gotta move on.
There's some trouble looming there.
You're muted, Doc. You're muted, Doc.
Mulu have left the party, and they are exploring other opportunity out there. And also, the student of the University of Liberia understand they are what they're coming out with. They are asking for the president to resign. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, in fact, the faculty association today locked the gates of the university. So, and they're saying they're not going to classes. And the students now want to also join and to say, you got to come to school. If you don't come to school, then we will continue protesting here. So
why are they locking the classes?
I think the teachers are making a lot of demands. One of their demands is they want the president of the university to be out. Then another troubling thing is that many of the buses at the university are buses owned by Senator Sir Joseph. So I understand that there's been a lot of issues regarding those buses. Part of the agreement, the university is supposed to be paying the drivers, I think, fueling and paying some money. The university has not done so. It's my understanding that the university is indebted to Senator Sir Joseph over $200,000. So given this, Senator Sir Joseph withdrew all his buses from the university and the students are stranded. That was the first issue. Then the university teachers and the faculty there got some issues with the president of the university. But what is interesting to also notice, amidst all these issues ongoing, I listened to to some heads of different departments today on one of the local radio stations in the country, and they feared of that entire issue, and they were talking about how they want to now move into a PhD program at the university. So the University of Liberia is expected by Wednesday to launch a PhD program. So that has been an issue in town. Even the master's program is still troubling. How can you launch a PhD program? And how can you ignore the existing situations at the university to start talking about a PhD program? So the president of the country has also, I think, very soon is calling for a meeting between the faculty and him and something like that. So this is what it is. Maybe the panelists.
My take. The teacher that wants to ask the president to resign. After the university have a board and all of that, they sort of present their grievance to whoever, and then the board look at it and all of that. But my point is, you even got buses for your student to go to school, and then you say you want to start a PhD program. And I don't know, but in the university, it's like they don't have their finances, the student, everything for the student. They don't have it together. Why should students still be struggling for transportation? I mean, this is something that go on for years, and the university have not been able to resolve issue like that. Student. I mean, somebody's giving your boss, you can't pay your debt. I thought to pay all the students' school fee and pay for everything. So part of the money should go toward transportation and everything. And it has not happened. But let me bring on this young man, Willie Dillon, and let's see what he can chime in. I know he's been going in and coming out. Willie, what's your take on that? I mean, the University of Liberia again back in the picture. No transportation. The teachers locked the gate. The teachers are becoming what? Banamene now. They're locking the teachers don't want locking the door. The Banamene. The teacher, everybody. The teachers now become Banamene, locking the door. They take the whole law in their hands. So they should be teaching law and teaching the children. They're taking over. Liberia. Go ahead, Willie. Let's chime into this. Let's talk about University of Liberia. Dylan, can you hear me?
Yeah. So I think the University of Liberia is in a very dismal state, and it's actually this is supposed to be one of the oldest institutions of higher learning on the entire continent. From the University of Liberia going back to Liberia College, which extends back to the 1800s, right? But I think we've had a problem with the structure. The structure of the university, we kind of politicized it, and then at the end of the day, that's led to the delivery of quality education in the country has just been to rethink, and reorganize the whole structure of the university to that of a more modern concept. If you look at higher learning institutions all over the world, these schools have endowments. These schools use the endowment, they invest the endowment in the local economy in their country and use the proceeds to expand, their learning facilities and things of that sort. I remember this institution is one of the oldest in Africa. Do we even have an endowment? And the University of Liberia does not even have $1 set aside that they can use to expand. Rather, they depend on the government to move forward. So When you look at the situation with the University of Liberia, it is related the right way, and so because it's not being handled in the right way, it ends up being a disgrace to us as a people and just globally. It's a shame.
That's very true though. That's true. Let's start.
Oh, who is Willie Dillon? Can he introduce himself? Because we don't. I don't
Let's start with Chris. Chris, go ahead.
I would like to know who is Willie Dillon.
And he'll come back.
Okay, so for the university, for the students or the faculty to be asking for the president to resign, it can lead to potential instability in the country. That is very serious. This is no joke.
Is it the president or the university president?
Yeah.
He's the president.
That's why I want to get clarity on.
Okay. So it's
right.
They're asking for the university president to resign.
Yes, not the president of the country.
Oh, not the president of the country.
Right.
So, but I mean, it's their rights to put forth that if they feel that he's not leading he's not sitting in the right or leading the university the right way, they could do that. But with everything that's going on with the university already, would they want to add that to on their bucket list of things that they really need to accomplish as university students? They are behind. Certain time the university was closed and they did not go to school, so it means that they're behind other university students and all that kind of thing. So sometimes you have to think about your future in a way that you put forth the rightful things that will benefit other students and yourself. Because most time in university, when we were going to school, most of the time you see the people protesting, some of them failing their courses and stuff. They're just looking for a way to distract the other students who are supposed to graduate. And I know maybe it will not be the case in Liberia because the university is going through a lot. Kalabu, why are you laughing? I know it will not. Yeah, but you.
Chris, you force it. Seriously, you force it. He can't laugh again.
Yeah, I started talking to me, just started laughing. I wonder why he's laughing. But anyway,
I'm laughing because the argument making is the same thing others said to us in 1988 when we were demonstrating. That all these people are failing. When some of our entry, were honorary students, we were raising issue with employment, and they say, "Oh, they are demonstrating because they're failing."
Why were you guys demonstrating, Kalabu? Because sometimes the demonstration, when it's too much, it brings distraction to the country itself as university students. So you have to think about that. Those things then, the things that are happening in the university, if that's too great to stop your education, why should you always want this person to resign? That person, right now, the university don't even have buses because the senator already took a bus away from them. They should be thinking about that. What can they do? How can they help the president for them to put forth to the government to be able to help the university instead of and now rioting or trying to state that the university, the principal or the president of the university to resign. So and these are the things. The distractions are too many. Like we're going through too much already. For Joseph Boakai government has not done nothing substantial already for the country. People are hungry. We got rest issue going on. We all these other companies signing bogus deals. What happening to the people like this man appointing people who don't even know what they're doing, and all of that the country has to think about. Then university people to come and jump in the street and say they're protesting. Why do they want this man to leave? So except they can get real reasons why they think that he should be out, I don't think it's necessary right now. That's why I'm thinking. And I would say that most of the time, the people who failing, they don't want them to be in the right. I think who are failing at that time. Maybe that's what
all right, let's come to Tumuli. Come on, Tumuli.
I say something. At least I think on this platform, I have an intimate relationship with the University of Liberia because being a former faculty and a former student leader, I think I have an intimate and
yeah, but your faculty member then now they're becoming students, they'll be lacking git and causing grammar.
No. So guys, no. I will just take brief time to probably put some of these things in context. Mm-hmm. You see, the war impacted learning institutions, and the University of Liberia is no exception. Like Robert was talking about endowment, DeLong was talking about endowment and what have you. The University of Liberia, like if you look in the library, most of the books we receive were through the I think Board of I think, education trustees from the U.S. These were retired educationists from the U.S. who were supporting the university, and the world kind of broke that communication. But the government of Liberia, every government has a policy. Like under Samuel Doe, the university acquired, the government gave a lot of assets to the university. Like in Sano, somewhere I think in the suburb, around the suburb, they gave forests to the University of Liberia as well. The university got so much that they need to just manage. Sometimes we say lack of innovation from the current, the successive presidents of the university since the 90s, way has, kind of contributed to some of the problem we're having. If you go to Fendor campus, at least under the CDC government, they did something about the FQ, the refurbish our building. But the science building in 2016, 2017, and 18, I was teaching at the university. And I was standing in the same science building where I was a student in the 80s, teaching. And the Buddha mats, the broken window, the shattered windows were still there since the war. And there has been success in university. You know what they were doing? They keep these buildings in our shape, so when donors come, they take them around and show to them. Just so they don't spend any money on. They have money in the budget to even put renovation in the budget. They don't do it. The building, most of them using the Chinese building. The engineering building, USAID brought a program there and spent about $5 million. The Center for Excellence, they focus on engineering. They refurbish it. They put laboratory there. The science building, because no NGO has come, is standing there. The government of Liberia has done nothing about that. 12 years on Ellen Johnson Sally, the story was the same. 6 years on Joshua, it's the same. So the problem affecting the university is not just unique. It's unique to all public institutions in the country. But I think the challenge is we've had successive presidents of the university that have not had innovation, how to generate reforms, how to do other things. I can go on and pinpoint so many opportunities the different university presidents let go, because I know about some of it.
So Mr. Gonglo, you agree with the faculty that the current president should go?
Well, I don't know the details, because in 1988, when Doe appointed Dr. Stephen Jacobson, then president of the Collington University, to become president of the University of Liberia, I was part of that group that protested his appointment. Okay, so we have a reason why we didn't want him there. So I don't know their reason for asking.
But let me just give a quick.
I want to give someone a chance to come in.
Yeah, just one second. Let me give a quick.
Interrupt
because someone told me something. I hope the broadcast administration is not playing game with the new president of the university. I got a clue the other day from someone, and the person was telling me there's a man called Dr. George Clay Kier. I don't know if any of you have heard about him.
Yes.
Yes. He was once head of the New Deal movement.
Yes.
It's my understanding that President Bouaka and the government of Unity Party has reached out to Dr. George Clay Kier to become the new president of the University of Liberia. I don't know. And the same way you're saying, Mr. Gonglo, that you don't have too many details, we all don't know what the real issues would be for which the faculty would not want this man. But I hope the government is not interfering with the faculty so that they can bring in the Dr. George Clay Kier, because I keep hearing from people that the government wants Dr. George Clay Kier to become the new president of the university. I just wanted to pass that. So it could be double standard. I don't know.
Let me just end my statement quickly before Tommy comes in. Good try. But the president, Bouaka, does not need that, because he's a visitor to the university. That's a public position. The president of the Republic of Liberia appoints the president of the university, the vice president, and other people. Sally did it. Leah did it. He can do it also. He does not need anyone to demonstrate. He does not need any justification. He can wake up tomorrow morning and say, I don't like Dr. Sarah Nelson, how you even dressed today, or how you spoke on the phone. He can fire him. That's his right. It's constitutionally granted to him as president of Liberia. He doesn't need to. But the point I'm trying to make is to changing the university president is not address the core issue. It will still be the issue. That's my point. You know, we have had so many different presidents. If you don't address the fundamentals, I was teaching there for 3 years. I carry stationery from my office to give it to students. I printed lecture note from my office because I was running a project. At least we have printer. I will print it and give it to the student free and say, you all have it. The university, because under the so-called agenda, they were only paying salary and no stationery supply for offices. So we couldn't get stationery. So we have to go out there. You know, so I mean, you have to change the fundamental. You can put whoever you want there, you can put Grace, go out there, she will perform poorly if you don't change the fundamentals.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
The storm is heavier. The rain is heavier though. You had a storm, man. So I don't know whether we'll continue, but let's pray that it should not start the storm.
Just see one go home. I hope you're not getting text message. That's all.
I'm telling you, the storm, man, is heavy. No joke about that. But we'll continue though. When the technician tells us that, we'll be living in the air. But let's pray for it. Yeah, the storm. But on the issue of the University of Liberia, first of all, the university, the faculty senate, if the president wants to take a decision, he has to seek the indulgence of the faculty senate. He won't until he will just unilaterally just remove the president of the university. And if you notice what happened with Amos Sawyer, when they tried to dismiss Dr. Brian Sherman, they stood behind him, man, and they brought a whole major protest. So, whatever the case, University of Liberia students, they have some legitimate concerns, though, and especially what happened in Bassa. When people start to see that, lawmakers are giving themselves.
Hey, Campbell, let him in land.
But not for the people
you're continuously interrupting.
The Senate has nothing to do with the problem of the president of the
Campbell, let him land. Because some of us got to join me on this conversation.
Yeah, but the board of the university, the president, he will have to seek the consent of the board. He won't just do it unilaterally. But the board of the University of Liberia, he's the visitor of the University of Liberia, don't forget though. But he has to seek the board indulgence. He won't just do it unilaterally. But they have the reasons on legitimate concern though, and especially when they see what's happening, all the stuff about money, early corruption and hearing about in the country, all this stuff, who are concerned that they should take care of their issues, they address their priorities instead of just ignoring it. That's why it's important that the Liberian Senate really explain to the Liberian people what happened in Bassa, how much money, why they get each senator $10,000, not even their salary. Why they get them $10,000 for what? Just because they go for retreat, $10,000.
Constituency visit.
Man, that constituency visit, that they were there merrymaking, not for constituency visit. They were merrymaking in Bassa. With the journal to tell you, but again, there's another one for another day. But
I know, right?
I frown on them for that. They are insensitive to Liberian people. You can't do that to the people. They're elected to be a difference. And they say with transparency, all this stuff. Want to see the transparency?
Lofa, man, that was grandstanding on national TV the other day that he would give $5,000 his salary. Lofa had that video. I hope you could play that video again, Lofa. Where is it now? You know?
So, but guys, University of Liberia issue, they hope they resolve it quickly, because these students, every government that kind of power, they will find some way to make noise. You know that. Yeah, so that's been the trend. And I see it. So they're gonna, especially when they find a loophole, they're gonna start. The battle cry will start again. But again,
so I don't want to cut anyone off.
Go ahead.
I don't want to cut anyone off, but I'm trying to find out from you guys. Looking at the way, things have been done in Liberia. We've been doing this for a long time, and we have not been able to get any kind of result that can be respected or respectable on the world forum. Are you guys saying that really we should continue to do things in the way we've been doing it? When you have universities around the world that have billions and billions of dollars in endowment that they use to fund research, to push civilization forward in the world, and we have a institution that we say is one of the oldest on the continent, right? And they cannot even provide, there's not even stationery in there to provide, papers for the students to take tests. Then is it not a problem with the way we are conducting ourselves? Should we not look at a new structure? We should continue to run a higher learning institution linked to the political process in the country? Or should we look at it at like other higher learning institutions do in the world, where this is run as a business that could be able to generate funds, that can be able to take donations from other parts of the world and then be self-sustaining in and of itself?
But Dylan, you raised some good points. I mean, I agree with you. That's how it should be. We should be thinking, especially as the oldest university on the region, should be thinking back in the days. You and I know back in the days, we have people coming from other countries to come and attend our University of Liberia. We had a big, our medical college, Dr. Yati College of Medicine, our law school. We were very respected back in the days. But nowadays, universities, will see what happening. First of all, if you notice some of the people they are put up as graduates, they question it, especially, I mean, we won't call names, but people who they say were graduated, we all people know that some of them just got away through and went. But all of these things start with the leadership. It depends on the leadership. And I always say, until Liberia can get a leader that will really take that country to where they really want to put the country first, we'll all be in a situation. We'll do business as usual the same way. So that's why when I hear Lofa saying, politics is not deception. Lofa, the Liberian politics is different from Western politics. If you think I'm lying, all election I was won 2005. Start with 97. With Taylor election, with Ellen election, with Weah election, with Boga election. Check it out. You think if the people have followed what you following who are being elected? No. You talk about poverty reduction strategy, talk about pro agenda, and talk about a rest agenda. And right now, and that's rescuing the country. That's what's been happening. And if you want to do the change, you take sacrifices to do it. Or you come and make the change. It's hard because people will resist you. That's why you see when you have all the great candidates in the race, and at the end of the day you end up with a binary choice. That's what will be happening. So Dylan, you raise a good point. But my answer to that is, until we can elect the right leadership to make the fundamental changes, we'll all be in this kind of problem today. And that's why we have obligation to educate our fellow Liberians who come on these platforms, educate them the right thing, but it will follow you. It's up to them. But most of the time, I'll tell you again before I end, you have election today, December election, you end up with the CUP and CDC going to the final. I can bet you. That's how.
But if they use biometric, that would not be the case, because most time the elections being rigged. Yeah, if they use, I dare them to go and use biometric. Let's see whether UP or CDC will come. It will not happen. And before you come in, quickly to Dylan, I just wanted to say to you that we understand where you're coming from, but the thing is that the leadership will start from the head, as Thomas Lee said, and the university, the students protesting, this thing be going over and over. It doesn't do anything. Most of the time, they get in the street, they protest, the people pay their money, they shut up. So that's why they're not. The change is not coming for them. So we don't need that. We just need to make sure to tell our people to vote right when it's time for the leadership, because the president of Liberia has too much power in the legislature and the House of Representatives. The Senate, they are not changing that. They're not changing the laws in the country. They sit there and not do that. When one group of people want to do it, they press the people down that work in that entity and are looking forward to see what the House of Representatives, the legislature, how the retreat will be like. Let's see whether they will take their own part down. Thank you.
So, Grace, basically, Derek, is it okay for me to go?
No,
all right. So basically, this is what I'm trying to get at. One, I noticed something that we all continue to ignore. That is the individual projects that are being carried on by these lawmakers. In the case of Sir Joseph, this is a man who went and bought buses, brought them to Liberia, and then using his position to get his business done. And I heard people celebrate this man as though he was doing something in the interest of Liberians. This is why they would not invest in the legislative projects. That's the reason why when I asked the question a few days ago to the young man who was on here with us, Frank Safoko, what have been your legislative project? What have you done? It became a little bit of a stumbling block for him to answer. We get back to the same question here. Why are we not investing our idea in these legislative projects that are done across the board? Why are we not putting money in the budgets to purchase buses for students to be transported from one part of Liberia to the other part to go to school? The reason is simple, and I say this often. Our lawmakers, their kids are not in Liberia. Few days ago, Fanati Kofa came here to celebrate his son or graduation. These people are not interested in nothing about Liberia. They come here and celebrate their kids, and they go back to Liberia and make money and steal from the innocent people. Do you really think they would see reason to invest? DeLon, not the DeLon we have on here right now, but our Senator DeLon, his son, lives
But
here.
Dylan is always Dylan now. Dylan.
All of you guys,
I
look.
see people.
Yeah, all of you guys. So it's okay for me to tie you guys together, right?
Not from them.
As a connection. But in reality, though, to be honest, maybe if our lawmakers had their family or their close relatives in Liberia and were being impacted the way other people are being impacted, maybe they would see reason to invest in quality education, quality health care, and all of these things. But for them, they can take their kids and send them out of the country to acquire the needed education. Our family and friends are the victims. And that's why they just don't give a jack. This whole thing about Sir Joseph brought buses. Whoever told you that was part of his response? This is a private business. Listen to what we're talking about. What Ellis talked about earlier. Toga, he said this man brought the buses and then he rented the buses, told the university so he can have money. How is that logical? And we sit here and celebrate these guys when we have the money and your lawmakers are taking the funds to go on retreats. Americana and other people are celebrating their share of the $10,000. They don't see reason to oppose these kind of things. So we will not move forward until we can start seeing reason to invest in legislative projects as compared to individual projects to grandstand. I end on that note.
All right, let's go to Robert. Robert been sitting quietly. Let's go to Robert. Let's go to Robert.
Listen, it's sad that even in the 21st century, that we continue to have the appointments of educators led by the executive mansion. And I think that's the point Dylan was making. In serious countries, people of opposing views, right, come together on education. They may not always agree, but they understand that we cannot politicize the institution of higher learning. Damn it, Doc! Liberia president is the most powerful leader. This guy appoints damn near everything in that country. Everything must be appointed by the president. This is the reason why people are behaving the way that they're behaving. This is the reason why. Why don't we have chancellors in control, with constant consultation of the board of trustees, in control of appointing presidents at our higher learning institutions? This is the reason why these institutions don't feel the need to be able to be creative, to raise the kind of funds that they need to raise, to function at an independent level. This is the reason why our students have become Mediterraneans, right? This is the reason why student government on campuses are taken more seriously than
actually learning. And I spoke about this the other day. Our students are not learning. They are not in school to learn. Most of our students, especially the ones with loud mouths, they are there to contest the next student government leadership, because they see this as a means of getting government position. They become advocates. If you hear Martin and others share their CV, they boastfully talked about the leadership role they held at the University of Liberia. You will hear them say, "We led the students at the University of Liberia." These are some of the things that they do. They're not there to learn. These things are not happening in serious country. That. So when Dylan talked about how do we restructure our system, this should be part of education reform in our country. And God bless his heart, the former education minister. These were things that we fought for during the Ellen-led government. We have to reform our system. Government cannot be involved in everything. The executive mansion cannot be involved in everything. So bottom line is, Joseph Boakai, like other leaders, played an integral role in who becomes the next president. He appoints the members of the board of trustees. He influenced them and their decisions. So of course, whoever he nominates, even though they have to approve, automatically gets approved. This is a no-brainer. But how have this system benefited our higher institutions in our country? Until we change what has not worked, what has not worked will continue not to work until we decide to stand up and change. And to my brother Alex, this is the reason why I have decided not to be bullied into joining a political party. I am never going to support Alex Jones because I like Alex Jones and his ideas, because now he's a member of a party called NDR. I don't know what NDR stands for, but because I like Alex Jones and I like his idea, now I'm a member of NDR. There are people who are supporting individuals in our country only because they like them, but they're not members of the parties. No, we must encourage true institution and what that stands for. So people will come and go, candidates will come and go, but that institution must remain. I will give you an example: the Democratic and Republican Party. Political candidates have come and gone, but what the institution stands for remains. These are political institutions we must support. But when one man is gone from one political party, that political party dies because the fabric of that political party rested upon his or her shoulders. We cannot continue to encourage this, and I will not be bullied into joining a political club. I want to be a vibrant member of an institution. That's what I want to do. Thank you.
Let's go to Alex. Alex, go ahead.
Can I speak on a university issue, please?
Sure, go ahead, Alex. I was coming to you anyway.
Okay. The first thing I want to point out here is I'm very happy that they don't have buses at the university. And I know that's a very controversial remark. Let them walk. Let them have broken buildings. Let them not get education. And why? Because these were the same university students that were wearing berets for the CDC and the Joseph Boakai.
I agree.
You at a university that's supposed to be critiquing people. You're supposed to be asking people for the policy on the university campus, the budget, how are they going to handle whether the university be run by an endowment or the university is run by the president. And you sit there and say you educated, and you just jump beyond these useless political parties and leaders, and you support them. Then you want me to kind of fight for you to get boss to go to Fender or wherever? You can walk. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care, because you're supposed to be intelligent. That's why people go to school. So it's very good for them. Let them go to Boakai. Let Boakai send his children to America to get fine education. And you sit there with no good education. Then next time election, you will think better, and you will start getting involved in the real issues of how universities should be run. I discuss this all the time. There are forming. There's a clear structure by which universities are run by the endowment, not by the president. So the answers are there. The long Secretary General of MLB. Okay, but we don't want to know these things. We just want to talk about Amar Kone. We just want to talk Gafunya. Wasn't Gafunya part of the board of trustees for Universal Liberia? He was. What did he do? How did he improve the life of, I mean, the administration and the management? So I don't want to hear about Universal. As far as I'm concerned, that's their problem. Joe Palmer on Joe Rice. Next time, think, be intellectual, and fight for change that will impact you and your family. So that's what I have to say on that.
I think.
On the university. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. I think
And they should
will
stop
be,
selling their votes. Don't
Yeah.
sell your vote. When you sell your vote, this is what
guys.
happens.
I think we'll go to the phone line. Almost 8 o'clock. I think we need to take 1 or 2 phone calls. I think the university situation is just beyond my comprehension. I mean, this thing had been there from years and years. Everybody come and do the same thing. They didn't go through the procedure. I mean, President Riaz single-handedly appointed Dr. Nelson to be the president of that university, and all those things. They don't even go through the procedure. The board are not given the opportunity to select leaders. I mean, and all of that. So those are giving boss and told them not to pay. The only thing they wanted to do give the people gas. Instead, they couldn't even buy gas for hey, who will maintain the car and just give it to you free. You know.
Listen,
So
Henry, can I
it's
speak a little
sick.
bit on this? Can I make a quick comment?
Right.
Yes, I listened to my brother Chichu Jones, Alex Jones. I think to say because the University of Liberia students exercise a political
Yeah, we got a
right,
call on the line.
a fundamental right. Okay,
no, go ahead, Kalabu. Go ahead. Can take it.
Exercise a fundamental right granted under the Constitution, Article 15. They should be punished for holding opinion. I mean, I think that brings into question the kind of leadership you want to be president of Liberia. What kind of leadership you want to provide a nation? That you want everybody to think your way and not the other way. You know, and you are a very educated person. Push you are right to whole opinion. I mean, you don't have to like the opinion. Choosing a candidate is an opinion. It's not based on facts.
Correct.
And
that's
right.
I wanted to answer your question, Gongolo. I want people to be accountable. The reason you vote for someone is because they are going to make improvements that you have evaluated that's going to benefit you. So the kind of leader I want to be is a leader that is accountable. You don't vote for stupid people and expect good result. That's my point. So don't miss the point I'm making. You voted, they voted for Boakai.
Very wrong university is solely owned by the government and people of Liberia. So they
should have contacted Boakai. They should have had town hall meeting. They should have made sure that Boakai was going to change the practice of appointing before they pledged their support. Like you just mentioned Martin Colley. He's a very influential man. He's very educated. He was part of the rescue train. They could have used him to make sure that Boakai committed to say university would not be, the president would not be appointed anymore. It will be diverse from the government and it will be run as an institution where they can raise money like any other university, state college, or university around the world. But they didn't do that.
Okay, that's great.
They put on the beret and they said that Boakai we want. So they must be accountable. That's my point.
Let's go to the line. But the problem is not unique to Boakai. I think Doe funded the university far better than all the educated people.
And that's not true.
Well,
that's not true. But let's go to the line, please. But that's not true.
And Doe sent people to rape the people and beat them there too.
Please, let's go to the line, Lofa.
Okay, your person willing up now, or else y'all gonna make him talk.
But Lofa, we gave you the floor. Put the people on the line.
Oh, Lofa, you're on mute. You're on mute. That's why you're on mute.
Caller, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is what I want to say, and on here, I think you panelists are going the wrong way. I think this show should be for all Liberians. I listened to my brother Robert. Robert, you are a very good man, and I don't think you should sanction people because they supported Joseph Boakai, and now they have different opinion because they brought in power people who they supported. I mean, if they disagree, they disagree. I mean, if they have issues, they have issues. I don't think you, as a senior panelist on this show, should sanction Martin Collins for not coming on here or not encouraging the people to bring in here.
No. I don't think that was not Robert's. That was.
Finish, please.
Let me finish.
Oh, who's
Let me
speaking?
finish.
We don't even know who's
All right,
speaking.
go ahead.
Okay. I think Ellis Viela, you know me very well. I'm Alhaji Bar. I encourage you to help this show. I think this show is a show that all of us support, and we deserve the support that we put in here for this show. I think you guys, based on people's opinion, people should not be judged on their opinion. It is Martin Collins' own opinion that he rendered. It doesn't mean the opinion he rendered is genuine. I mean, in the U.S., people supported Donald Trump and they went against Donald Trump. They even went to impeach Donald Trump. And no one holds them responsible because they voted for Donald Trump. At the end of the day, they went against Donald Trump. And the next thing here is Sir Joseph, as a senator of Montserrado County, he cannot pay drivers. He cannot fuel the truck. I mean, the buses that you take there. Then the students don't pay any money on issues. That is the holding that they owe him. He deserves his money, not because he's a senator of Montserrado County and he goes out there and lobby for buses and bring it and give it to the University of Liberia. If those buses break down, when it breaks down, and Joseph have to use their own money to fix the buses. And these are things that Joseph looking at to take off the buses from down there. And let me address my brother Alex. Alex Jones. Alex Jones, I promise you this. Even a community chairman, you cannot win in Liberia because the notion you don't care. That notion of you don't care, it don't work in Liberia. You have to be clear. Once you know that you offer something, you want to be something in Liberia, that language of you don't care is not supposed to be part of your normal routine. You understand me? You want to be president of Liberia or you want to be senator or representative, you have to learn how to use words on the Liberian people because these are the people that are supposed to vote for you, also that's supposed to vote for the candidate you support. As a person on this panel list, you have thousands of Liberians listening to you. You have to mind what you say to the people who you want to vote for you tomorrow. And to end on this note, we are not running campaign here. Campaign is over. Who you support, who you not support, not supposed to be the discussion here. Okay? The issue. Let's go to the issue. The issue is what Martin Collins is talking about. My brother Julius and Lofa Julius supported Darrell Dillon here. He supported Darrell Dillon financially, morally, on his show 24/7. He even blocked some of us. But today, he's against Darrell Dillon because of certain things. Who blame him because he's against Darrell Dillon? No one blames him. So why will you blame Martin Collins for disagreeing with Joseph Boakai? You guys, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. I blocked you, but I still took your call though.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Let me just respond to the
If
caller.
nobody else, can I respond? They call my name.
When people come on your piece and tell us who they are because it's just the right.
No, he called it.
No, he did though. He did say his name.
Okay.
He did say his name. He said he's Alhaji and he's calling from somewhere in Asia. He did say his name.
Let me respond.
Yeah, my phone was on mute probably then, but he did say his name though. And even after he responded.
Alex, 1 second. Don't give me that. Can I clarify something to the caller?
Yeah, we don't have a caller. Yeah.
No, but he also mentioned me, so I'll respond to him too.
So let me just clarify this.
Yeah, I gotta be out here by 8 o'clock. I hear it's raining heavily in Monrovia.
Yeah, let me clarify this, caller. I did not say Martin should not appear on this platform.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to speak to.
I would love for Martin to appear on this platform because I cannot wait for the day that he faces serious people. Right? That's what I pray for, because he will get embarrassed. So I'm not saying he should be censored. I do not censor people. He has the right to his opinion. But let me say this: people whose opinion
I want to be very clear. So I will quote just like I wrote it. People whose opinions judges the actions and decisions of others must equally be judged or scrutinized. So for you to say we cannot judge Martin's opinions when the opinions he shared judging that of others is a oxymoron. So we again, please convince Martin to come on his platform and engage serious intellectuals and people with common sense. I want him to appear. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, before you go, Dylan, I think before you go, Dylan, real quickly, Martin Colley has communicated to me that he will be on the show. He will let us know ASAP what day and what time. So he has responded.
That'll be great. We'd love to have
it.
Right?
As far as the university, I'm here as the movement to make Liberia better. I'm not campaigning at this time for any position. I'm here to give my views, all right, on prevailing situation. And I stand by my word that people should be accountable for the decision they make, for the political decision they make. You don't train your children. You don't go and tell you should educate your children. And part of education is learning from your mistakes. So when I say I don't care, that's what I mean. I mean that we cannot keep, they're not taking the responsibility. They voted for Sir Joseph, most of them, because at the university, at least you can vote. Most people, they're at least 18 years old. You can join part of a political movement. You can join part of a political party that's going to shape your future and shape your education. If you choose over the last 10, 15 years to keep voting, selecting parties and people that don't care about the university and that don't improve the university, why should I care? So I'm not a politician. So you're not gonna give like people like liars. They like these politicians that will come on air and tell them all the wonderful things. Oh yeah, we're concerned. You got people that what her name? Alaro Tokpa. Alaro Tokpa now is making plenty of money with the government. Alaro Tokpa used to be teaching at a university. Alaro Tokpa was part of the government, the Unity Party government. Why he can't speak for them? You got Tewan Gonglo. You got all these people there. Those are the people that they supported. Those are the people who are part of the university, and those are the people who are taking that university, looking at it why it's going, why it's not being funded. So my responsibility is you must be accountable for the decision you make. I stand by that statement. I'm responsible for the decision I make, who I choose, who I support, and that's what I want to teach the young people and admonish them to do. Nobody is going to baby you, period. So I do not care if you vote the wrong person in and the person does not do what is best for you. That's your responsibility as a young adult. Thank you.
All right. Lofa left. All right, Chris.
Can I make a quick clarification for 10 seconds? I think Alex Jones is misleading information.
Are we closing now?
First, Alaro Tokpa has not taken the first pay. So to say he's making a lot of money, let's put that out. Let's address the issue.
How you know that?
Oh, no, because I talked to him. He's just an.
But then he needs to come in the show and clarify that 1 year you're not his man. He's a government official.
Yeah, but Alex, you are somebody's spokesman here the other time. Right?
Nobody's spokesman. That's my view.
Can I just say what I want to say, Alex?
Spokesman.
Oh my God. So listen, look at the University of Liberia, the election result from the polling centers that were there. It was between CDC and Unity Party. It was not between any of the other candidates. Okay,
but they could have supported other candidates, Koluba. The reason CDC and Unity Party keep coming up because university students do not organize themselves and start supporting good candidates today. You don't wait till the last second round, then you say, "Oh, I only two
Alex, let him land so we can have other people to chime in on here."
So that go there. It's on that website. The result is there. You are polling center. Unity Party, Boakai, Joshua, they led there, okay? And the last clarification is Councillor Gonglo is teaching 3 courses at a law school. He goes there religiously every single day, Monday to Friday. He has suspended many of his legal practices just to devote teaching to the university now. Because of the same reason, he thinks that the young people should be molded in a way to make right decisions. If we all abandon them that they made a wrong decision, then they will continue to fall in the wrong hand. So he has made that commitment. He goes to
Go
university.
run a university
In the
better.
law school.
And he
I
is
think it will
running
help.
his lane, which is
In the
good.
law school.
Let him go run a university
In
because
the law
that will
Everybody
looking for a
voting if you go
change.
to the law school.
Dr.
The
Peabody,
teachers in
I
the
Is
law
want
it
school.
my time?
Delon. Did you want Delon to go
And
before I
he
close
have
the video?
produced a lot of corrupt lawyers.
Yeah, we're closing now, though. We're closing now.
Did
So
you want
let's
me to
go.
play the video? That's what I'm
Well,
asking.
you don't choose. You teach a student after a lot of my student in mathematics and statistics, and
Play that video.
some of the accounting students, they go out and be corrupt, and I didn't tell them to go be corrupt. No, teachers don't do that. You know that.
All right.
Well, I think the teacher on the other hand this time to go in there and lock in the university door and all of that. They were out of control. They acting like the student, and I mean, you don't do that. I mean, as a university, you are professor, you are training the next generation, the future leader of the country, and you go there, you start in the kind of vandalism and thing on the campus. That's a disgrace. I don't know what they're teaching those children. To be honest, I don't know what they're teaching those children. If you can go out there and demonstrate such behavior, who respect you as a professor? What professor who should be teaching people to mold their mind to be good leaders? And you are going out there following the same thing that folks talking about. That's what we keep talking about. And Alex Jones said, you're voting for people that will not do your fat, but you still go, you're jumping the street, you wear all kind of stuff, you're running around places and doing things, and these people come to power and nothing you get. You're all there. Joe Parker, the rescue all day. Now y'all got rescued. Ain't even 6 more years. The teacher ain't getting paid. I don't see when the security and all start fighting and locking doors and things on the campus. It's a shame for the nation. All those universities. I mean, other universities around in the sub-region, they are doing far better. And our university continue to teach. I feel for those young children graduating from high school, not getting. Children were giving lessons on WhatsApp during COVID. Who does that? On WhatsApp, they were sending the lesson on WhatsApp. Say that the online learning. Eh? What is that? What do you expect them to learn? And the kids continue to suffer. That's how you have thousands of students graduating every year and no job. I know a young man that graduated with a degree in engineering. He been around my roof and can't find a job. He's a geologist. You see, some of the children go to school. It should be 4 years. They take almost 6-7 years because 2 years out of that 4 years is teacher can't get paid. Student demonstrating and all of that. And you expect us to have that's why we have this brain drain in Liberia today. Because the children are not learning, they are not giving them quality education, and they are barely helping them in any way. They struggle. I mean, if you can't have a future in your own country, especially with education, I don't care how corrupt the country is, education should be a priority, and it's not. See what our children have to go through. Let's go to Delon, and then Chris, and then Judah will play that tip, and then we wrap up. We gotta be out here shortly, guys.
All right. Yeah. So just in response to the caller, I just find it strange that someone would come and make a call in such a public forum and say that when you make decisions, you're not held accountable, especially a public figure. You make a decision and they're not held accountable for it. They can take actions and not held accountable for it. I don't know on what planet or what society that would be acceptable, especially if you call yourself a leader. You call yourself a leader, you're held at even a higher esteem than the average person. So you have to be even more careful what you stand behind, what you put your name behind, because at the end of the day, you'll be held at a higher standard. And because a lot of people look up to you before they even make their decisions. So in light of that, I would have to say that him saying that about Martin Cully, that Martin Cully can make a decision, or anyone, Alex Jones or Mr. Gongolo here can make a decision, so he can't be held to it later on. That's not true. We've seen even here in the United States where presidents have made statements saying they won't raise the taxes, and then they do raise the taxes. They lost elections based on that because the electorate or the voters held them accountable for going against their campaign slogans and the promises they made to the people. So I mean, like I said, maybe Liberian politics is different. Maybe you lie to the people, you do something else, and then we say, oh, that's just political talk, but no, we have to
Yes.
have a higher standard in the country. And so if you're a public figure in any way, you should be held to your word. And if you go against your word, we should hold you accountable for that. Whether you're my friend, Alex Jones, or whether you a fellow panelist, Mr. Gongolo here, or anyone else. All right. Secondly, I think the whole political discussion in our country, or even on these panels, has been bogged down so much to the point where we're not even focusing on how to move our country forward. And in moving our country forward, even with like I said, institutions like the University of Liberia, we need new ideas. We need new forms of organization. Like we said, this school doesn't even have an endowment. The problem is not who the president is. The problem is not, oh yes, we don't have stationery. Those things are all symptoms. The major problem is we have a organizing structure that does not work, and we're sticking with it. All right. So we have to look at the underlying systems that we've created in our country, and if they're not working, we need to find a way to change them. We need to look at industry. We need to look at science, technology, agriculture. How can we organize our economy in such a way that we can feed these different sectors in our country, and then use the education system to provide, the workforce for those things. So all the people now at the university putting people out of agricultural college, out of like you said, the geological college, and even business college. If there are no jobs, at the end of the day, what's the benefit? What's the use? So we have to rethink our entire system, come with new ideas, and try to change these things that are not working. Because these problems we have in Liberia now are age-old problems. We're thinking the Messiah is going to drop from heaven and come and use words like rescue or whatever, and then at the end of the day, everything is going to change poof with the waving of a magic wand. No, that's not how it's going to happen. We have to change the culture. We have to change our organizations. We have to bring about new leadership. And leadership doesn't just mean the president. They got religious leaders. They got academic leaders. They got social leaders. We have to change our goals that we're striving for in society. So I don't want to keep standing on the soapbox. I'm just saying that we have to stop going the wrong direction, talking party politics and bickering at each other, and see how we can actually organize a society that we can be proud of. And that's not what we're doing. That's not even what we're discussing in Liberia.
All right.
And thank you, Dylan.
Chris.
That's the reason. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Dylan. Very, very powerful statement you said. And that's the reason why Liberians should now, especially the younger generation that makes at least 80% or maybe 77% of the country, should come now and say, you know what, we're not going to stand for the regular thing anymore. This is time for us to step into what is better. The other people are moving forward. Like Dr. Manima always say, Liberia is behind, way behind most of the countries that are way behind. So for us to come back on the line and be, part of the line, we have to be able to communicate with each other respectfully. And you have to respect my views. I have to respect yours. We have to consistently talk about the changes that we want to see in Liberia at this point in time. And we have to do that, although we disagree, but we have to do that with love. Because there is no need of us coming here and people even watching us. There is no need of none of us being enemies. Because we, at the end of the day, we fight for the same cause. We don't feel good living in countries that we can have, options to go to our own country and build places that we would like to go in, like the Nigerians and the Ghanaians. They go to their country, the place is kind of at least getting there, kind of getting developed. And you go to Liberia, you still see the same old thing. It's even worse. So, I really like what you said, but I will go back again to what Julius said, and I disagree with Julius. I hope he comes here. You cannot blame Fanati Kofa for having an opportunity to send his kids here to the States to go to school. You can only blame Fanati Kofa if he's not passing in laws that will change the lives of Liberians. Back in the day, we have our parents, we have family members, we have friends, our neighbors. Their children came to school here in the States, but they were still doing their due diligence in offices when they were working there to effect change in Liberia and make the country okay because they live there. So people will have opportunities to send their kids abroad. And some people will not have the opportunities, but we can't take it away from them. But we have to hold them accountable on them doing their jobs in where they're positioned to do those jobs. So, I just wanted to say that, Jesus. And these days, the way they came after Alex, it looks so sorry for Alex, my small brother. I think I should be like 2 years older than Alex, so he looked like he's like a brother to me. And people don't want Alex to be himself, and that is sad. If we were sit on platforms every day and say, oh, like the caller who call in, you have to be able to talk to the people. So you mean that we should take the truth out of what we say nowadays to our people because we're looking for vote for them? When would the truth be told for these people to say, you know what, regardless of I didn't do this, but this man told me the truth, and I will look at it and think about it. But if we always have to measure our words and don't talk, and the people in Lofa don't like this, or you can't do this. But in the meanwhile, what you're doing is reality, and what you're doing and what you're saying is the truth, then they should take their votes. That's why they will continue to suffer where they are, because they don't like people who will say the truth to them. They want people to match their words because they want these, because they will not vote for the people because the people say the truth to them. I'd rather any day for somebody to say the truth to me than to lie to me, so I can learn from my mistakes. And what the people have done, what they're receiving right now, they deserve it. These university students, they wore barrettes. Some of them, they lie down on the bed with Joseph Boakai green. Some of them were dressing green. We just needed to wear green pin on them so they can just be green one for all. They were dressed in green on a regular basis and laying outside Joseph Boakai t-shirt, and because they wanted him to get into power. So if he's not delivering for them, we say, okay, this is what you vote for. And Alex is right. This is what you vote for. You were supposed to go do your due diligence and research all the candidates that were in the race. You have options. So this is the result that you have. So we will not continue to be sorry for you people, but we'll tell you the truth. So that's a form of accountability. So what you vote is what you get. Stop selling your votes. And that's what we are saying. And you can't take away that Alex is military. You know what? In Ghana, Gerald Rawlings was military man. That what brought Ghana to what Ghana is today. That what brought Ghana to where it is today. Because of Gerald Rawlings, military style, he came twice. The first time he came, he gave it up. Said, the country, I'll deliver this country to you, and I want you to change your country. They couldn't do it. He came by, he overthrew again. And he did military style. He killed post office workers for not delivering mail. So we can't continue to pacify stuff like our people are babies. And that's the way we pacify stuff. Our people become dependent on us. And that's why these politicians want to fool these people when they go in 1 minute, 2 minutes to the election, they carry food and this and that. They will not work all year or the 6 years. 2 minutes to the election, they will carry food, this and that, and they fool the people because the people have dependency syndrome. They have to depend on people. And the politicians know how to play them because they will pacify them and fool them again, and for them to suffer another 6 years and enjoy a few months into the 6 years because they got money for voting for them. So I wanted to say that part as well. And what the next thing I wanted to say is that I'm more than 5 minutes.
Video, and then I
so I will respect that. Can I say I'm more than 5 minutes? And I'm an order.
Can I close?
So I will stop. I'm not going to say anything more because can I say I'm more than 5 minutes. So I hope that they are coming.
But you just said you're not going to say anything more.
Can I close?
Yeah, Robert, close. And then
Thank you. Let me disagree a small. Right? Let me disagree. I do think that people who can afford to have their kids attend a certain school should not be handicapped into a system. However, let me say this: if people feel as though that they can work in a system and make thousands and thousands of dollars, and even in the system that has filled thousands of other people, about 90% of the population, they lived the most luxury of lifestyles, then if that system works for them and they are able to use what they make to send their kids to the best schools, if they're able to use what they make to take the next flight to go to the next system, Accra or whatever, for better medical care, then I think it's hypocritical to those who have entrusted their expertise to help make that system better for everyone. Not equal. Everyone will always never be equal. There will always be this
people with more money than others, right? But to benefit so immensely from a system, only for your family, for you to say this system is not good enough for my kids to go to school, but it's okay for other children, parents or children to go to school, or that this system, I can make money from this system, but it's not good enough for medical for me, but it's okay for other families to go and die from, without any solution to see how you better that system for everyone. I think it raises a lot of questions. And so I've said it, and I will say this: those who have gone back to Liberia to make money, and those who have benefited from the system, I think if they want, if they want to continue to benefit from the system, they should put forth ideas that will make the system better for not only their children and themselves, but better for those who have entrusted them to help make that system better. You cannot make thousands of dollars every month, and then you send your kids to school while other people cheering are going to messed up school, and you have no ideas as to how you fix that system. I think it's bad, and we must speak up against it. Period.
It's not a one-man show, though.
So
cannot be the only one to change the system. It takes a
so great. Can I?
The system has been there. I'll give you 10. The system has been there. When it comes, for me, I believe when it comes to somebody's child, and my child is going to school, my child is doing well, absolutely, I will celebrate him. If you think about why other people are poor and you won't celebrate your child, then you might just don't do it. I think it's important to celebrate our children when they graduate. I think it's important. It's good. It's a good thing to do. All right. I mean, you could be working for not everybody in Liberia make the same money. Not everybody everybody work in America here. Not everybody make the same money. They got different pay skills and different pay level. Okay. So if I'm making $10,000 or $5,000 a month, somebody could be making $200 or $300 a month. We're not on the same level. So if I can afford, like Robert said, if I can afford to spend on my child to give him the best, I'll do it. Okay, not concerning Liberia. Liberia problem is a central problem. It has been there forever.
But then if you work for a private company, that's fine. But if you make the money off the backs of poor kids, then it's concerning.
This is why
but you don't know what you don't know if that man if the man have been saving for his children. You don't know whether they have money that they put in the children education fund for years that have been developing. They could have done it before even going like you.
That's a fair point.
They could have done it. You could have put money somewhere in some fund and say, I'm going to save this for my children. 10, 20 in America a long time. He worked here long before he went by Liberia. You didn't know how much fund that he saved for education fund for the family.
But that we know most of these guys are politicians that have made money off of
I agree.
Here's my point, though. You will agree with me. You will then agree with me that the reason why people subscribe to public office is to change what they notice or what they have seen about that system. The reason why Fanatic Kofa and other people actually subscribe to the idea of becoming a senator, representative, or whatever is because they noticed something that wasn't working. And they thought to themselves that we can impact the change that we want. So in as much as they may have planned their lives before they ascended to public office, guess what? You came there just as much as your kids are benefiting from a system that works. We want to experience the same thing in Liberia. We're not telling you, hey, we are jealous of you because your kids are going to school and they're graduating, but we're telling you, we're paying you. We are his employers. We pay this man to get a piece of job done. And here we are today. We're talking about a faulty education system. His son or daughter is going to school and graduating with a quality education, and you don't want me to be upset about that? Then I got a problem. We look at the healthcare system. People are dying on a daily basis. We are talking about the minute you dial 911, our family and friends in the United States gets the needed attention. If we want to build Liberia, We cannot say we can do it in a
We can't, but we cannot measure Liberia's standard to
The
that.
thing is,
Guys,
the thing is
can
that
I just
the
chime in
minute
for a minute?
let me just 3 seconds. Lofa, we understand where you're coming from, but what we're saying to you is that one person in the house cannot bring for that change. They can put it on the table for everybody to agree on for that to happen. And I understand you are mad. Plenty of us mad. I don't know that I have no dealings with Kofa, but just saying, look, for me, my parent work in government, a struggle save money like the tax said to send my brother here to the States. We didn't eat for days for my brother to travel to the States for his school fee to be paid for him to go to college. Do you take that away from my mother, her hard working money? You can't take that away from her. She working the government with plenty of other people. If change never happened at that time, maybe she pushed for the change and it just never happened because it's a collective thing. So you can't take that away from them. That's why I'm just saying that's my point.
Okay, so even though it's more than 2 minutes, but here's what I want to chime in quickly on this.
You worry about that. You worry about that.
No, but after Terrible people that stuff, let we go, man. It's after 8.
So guys, all the thing boils down to leadership. You know, Fulani children, I believe they are probably Americans. Maybe they were even born here. It's good to talk about it, but in context, this case, they were already living here when our father went back home. So we can learn. But again, symbolism in politics is important. Funanti Kofa as a speaker of the legislature, he's a head of the legislature. He could hold tell Yomli Kanga and say, look, Yomli, we are now part of the collective leadership of the country. Can we talk to our colleagues here that any legislator getting sick must go to JFK symbolically and be treated? Let's make that requirement. If they were to do that, it means JFK will start to get the funding. Even President Bouakai symbolically can decide that, you know, I'm not going to get treatment outside the country. I'm going to get treatment right here. Symbolically, his cabinet minister will start to do it. Or even in a radical way, President Bouakai can say, working in public service, particularly presidential appointment, is a privilege. It's not a right because few have to be called. Somebody must invite you to the table to have a dinner. It's a privilege. You could say before you work in my government, or you're going to sign this paper that you're going to get your first healthcare treatment anytime you get sick is going to be through a public health service in this country. Unless a doctor say that you have a complication that cannot be resolved in the country before you go see. You could do that in the minister, then sign that bond, and it will be bound by that. You know, this is why even during the campaign, yes, Councillor Gongo didn't win, but he was very vocal about that if you were to become president, he will go to JFK, he will go to different county health service to get treated. Because he said, as president, once I say I'm going to Zwedru or JJ Dawson to get treatment, the hospital will be refurbished, the facility will be there, and this is how we're going to solve
2
the
minutes
problem.
finish.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I think your time.
But
Let me close. I need to respond to that.
Leadership and symbolism is important.
Let me close because let me please close. I beg you, because what Kenepu saying respectfully is complete nonsense. Okay, respectfully. Tewan Gonglo served in government for over almost 15 years. He never made any proclamation about going to JFK or sending his children to public school. I spoke with him. It was Alex Jones' policy, and I have the record. My campaign promises that all ministers should be paid no more than all government officials no more than $3,000, and every president in Liberia. Hold on, because I want you to carry this information. Listen to me. It was Alex Jones was the only person, and I have the record to support it, that government official, all government officials should make less than $3,000, and all government officials must go to public hospital and send their children, including the president. Tiwa
Alex
Gonglo
Jones, you are
never
lying.
said that. So stop
Because
lying.
Lamin
He never
Kpagbo,
said that.
Lamin Kpagbo is
If
on
he
this
did,
on the
okay,
show.
hold on. If
Lamin
he
Kpagbo
did,
was part of that
show
team
us. No,
Buchanan.
no, don't
He
interrupt me
drafted
because
a
I
Twitter
will
account
give you the floor.
Buchanan. Don't sit and lie.
That's what they do. That's what they do when they're campaigning. When they're campaigning, they come back and say, right? You acting for that information that there was Alex Jones who came out. The only person.
What are you talking about
listen,
here?
I have the record to back it. So on any interview where Tiwa Gonglo said he be going to public hospital as a government official, or his children be going to public school.
Many times.
He has not. So don't bring that here.
Okay, guys. So
then show us.
All right, guys, we gotta go.
You
Oh,
must
God,
give
we
credit
passed
to
our
where it
time.
belongs. It was Alex Jones and the MLB
Alex, we passed our time. We got to go.
Thank you.
We passed our time, guys. We got to go. It's 8:15.
Yeah, but the video, play the video before we go.
Ego about yourself. You got this,
It's public record. You got to give credit to who is due. It was Alex Jones who said that. It wasn't Tiwa Gonglo.
All right, guys. Thank you. Let's go for play this, and then we'll take us home.
That's a big deal. But since it has not made sense yet, we thought to demonstrate our word into action by maintaining that we will take only $5,000 of our monthly money. Just as we are about to return to Monserrado what we have received from government, we would like to make it in a re-emphasized way that when we said what we said, we're clear on the record that we take only $5,000 from Monserrado County. When we made the argument, it was a fact that senators were taking $15,325 in gross, and after tax deduction, they will come at $12,000. I insisted I would take $5,000 out of that $15,000 and return the rest to Monserrado County. And we insisted that whatever the money will be here, more than $5,000 will return the rest to Monserrado. So if we make it $15,000, we'll take $5,000 and give Monserrado $10,000. If they increase our money here, or we increase our money here to $100,000, Darius Dillon will take $5,000 and give Monserrado $95,000. If we make it $5,100, Darius Dillon will take $5,000 and give Monserrado $100. If we make it only $5,000, then Monserrado gets nothing, because the baseline has always been. That's a.
There you go, guys. That's it right there. You heard the former light, now the senator, in his promise to Liberians. So that did you want to close on that, or did you want to say something?
That's the light. Look, man, I'm just full.
What light?
All these guys are just super calm, master calm.
I fully disagree.
Super master calm. You know, all of them are super calm. And
No, your cousin shame your entire family, bro.
Look what happened now. Look, guys, look. It was so good to have you guys, man. We'll see you guys. On Wednesday, we'll have the former finance minister of the Republic of Liberia, Oliver Senator Amar Conan, will be on the show. Come with your question, but let's be respectful to the senator. Bring your question and ask it, and let's be very respectful as well. But guys, y'all go with Dillon 5,000. Dillon give it for 1,000. So that's a lot of money he been keeping down though. 5,000. How long he been there? 6 years or what? 5,000.
Will we be allowed to ask 2 questions in first round and 2 questions in last round?
That's a lot of questions though. If one person asks 3 questions, then how are the other people? I think we'll do 2 and come back and do another 2. Only if we don't come.
Follow up.
And then the guests try to keep the question short too, because sometimes somebody
The answers.
one question.
Let the answers be short.
Yes.
Right.
We'll try to. We'll talk that.
Please.
And
We'll
if
talk
we
that
if
behind the
maybe
scene. We'll
yeah,
talk
let,
that
let's
behind
talk
the
about let's talk about it behind the scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But guys, it was great though.
Gonglo,
Thank
sorry
you.
for being too hard on you, but good show. You in the
No,
fire now.
Alex, you just express your
They
opinion.
You're taking away my credit and my legacy.
It's your
You're
opinion.
taking away my credit and my legacy, and you're giving it to your brother.
What
Be
legacy?
honest and go back and say who said this, who wrote it.
I'll show you the presentation.
Okay, sure.
Where
I challenge
Gonglo
you.
won the 10-count agenda.
I challenge you. Gonglo children did not go to public school when he was minister. I challenge you. Gonglo did not go to public hospital when he was minister or he was solicitor general. So what you see here is now he wants to come out and hold a high ground and telling Bogart to do this. He had the chance to prove that as a leader.
You agree, Okosi?
Has a misunderstanding.
No, we're done. I'm done. We're done.
When you're running in a city election,
Your party endorsed Bogart. Your party endorsed Bogart. So obviously he's part of the rescue tree.
Look at the kind of logic you
Gentlemen.
have. Always flaw logic.
The show's over.
The political party endorsed Joseph Bogart. Your party members is part of the government.
Now we gotta go. I'm done.
What happened?
We're done.
What happened with him?
I said,
He's
I'm
the
done.
party.
So
He's the head of the party.
The young man I was beating on the university.
If the man can lead a party, he needs to step down. Because you can't say your party endorsing somebody, but you're not endorsing them.
Send it to me.
I'll put it in your personal life. How many times have you not left a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Let it be.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us, man. Thank you so much. We gotta go. We're done.
Should I end the show?
I don't know who you guys are
Should I end the show?
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
All right.
Sometimes your argument does not show